And how are we this morning? On the day I went away. The game's up, Scarlett. There are no more bullets left in that gun. There was one shot at Mr. Body in the study, 2 for the chandelier, 2 at the lounge door, and 1 for the singing telegram.
That's not 6.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. I want to come again and stay.
You're nothing but an animal.
And that
We are all animals, Martin.
Cause I've seen.
Oh, yeah. Very low. Very low.
But one of us wasn't here. No. No. I'm going home.
I mean, I was hesitant in that it might be a difficult image to shake off. But then, really, I've always thought that it wasn't worth doing unless you took a risk, really. So I just took the risk.
Is my transportation here?
Out in front, sir. A limousine and a pizza.
Love is, I think, wasted on young.
Can't kill them all, can you?
I could try.
I can never harm you. You're honest, brave, and true. You didn't learn that from me.
I feel like an angel baby swaddled in a cocoon of cloud candy. That's nice.
Cause I've seen.
In my eyes. And I realized I'm
Followed sails by rules and laws. That's what being a captain's all about. Me, I sailed by the stars.
going home.
All
Nice mix, Big L.
Ode to Tim Curry. R.I.P. What was he, like 80?
Yeah, we lost 2 people right at 80. Way
Right at
too
80.
young. Dolly and then Tim. And then today we lost Optimus Prime at 85.
Optimus Prime at 85.
Yeah, Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
Good
What's
morning.
going on?
What's going on? Just living the dream.
Yeah.
Trying to sort all this craziness out.
You're living the dream? You mean your dream or someone else's
Well,
dream?
you know, yeah, I did have a dream last night. It involved Michael Saylor as a robot and you. It was weird. It was kind of a nightmare, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Fred already. He went to make a breakfast burrito.
I told you, you've got to get over there fast. Yeah. He
Put the
heard
hook
one
in
word.
there.
He's like,
I'm out.
yeah, I'm starting my own
Croissant time.
space.
Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Okay.
You better get over there, Lauren.
I'll
Quick.
shut up. I'll shut up, Terrence.
No, go over there. Say hi to Fred.
Hi, Fred.
Hey guys,
How are you?
I'm really good. 80K.
Oh, good.
We're
Yeah.
holding
Holding the line.
holding the line here, man.
Are you eating a breakfast croissant right now?
No, I was thinking about ordering a bagel.
Ooh,
I'm in
sounds
the
good.
bagel and lox kind of mood.
It's rough being a Bitcoiner. There's so many decisions to make in one day.
Tough out there for pimps and Bitcoiners.
Hey, did I miss anything, or this is just still part of the response to the Treasury buybacks and dry powder sitting on the side? Like, why are we? I mean, MicroStrategy is up like 10%, and it just seems like everything's moving. Is it the Nvidia news?
Yeah, Strive is up too, like almost 13%.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was something more macro that happened. Maybe Thomas knows. Thomas, do you know? Fred's
Strive
eating a
to do
bagel.
better, Terrence. Come on.
I was just on the phone with a financial advisor that managed my parents' estate, and we were just going through stuff. And he pointed out because I have it's called a loser portfolio. It's the people who lose because of what's happening with AI. Anyway, Salesforce.com is up 20% today. They're on my lose. SAP's up 5%. ServiceNow's up 8.3% today. Just in one
We're
day.
going to grow our way out of it, Thomas.
Grow our way out.
I don't get how these enterprise service companies are not going to be. They're not going to suffer from the encroaching capabilities of AI, especially as you look over the course of the next year. I mean, I play around with it a lot. I see how, and I talk to people who work in these corporations. So I just don't see it. It's crazy. So I don't know what to make of it, honestly. But
Terrence, can we do a fun fact? Thomas's dad was Rutgers head men's basketball coach for many years, also coached in the NBA. Side note, you're welcome.
yeah,
Oh, that's
Cool
very
dude.
cool. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
great guy. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry
I
to
mean,
interrupt.
my dad passed 4 years ago. You know, I know a lot of people have lost parents and things like that, but you know, I still miss my dad, to be honest with you. It's you know, it's part of life, right? You got to deal with it. But you don't realize till you're at least for men, you don't realize that you're how much, and at least a lot of people that I know, how your identity is tied to your father. And when that's gone, you realize that that's gone. That's you no longer have that identity linkage, and now you are the identity for the people like your heirs and the people under. So anyway, it's a sobering issue. That's why I was just thinking about it because I was on the phone uh, with their financial advisor that my parents used, and I maintain the portfolio with that guy, even though it's a, you know, I was trying to tell him, say, get the hell out of bonds, you know, it's and but it's I always respect it as my parents' portfolio, not mine to play with. And the guy's doing well. He's doing great. He's not doing as well as he could do with more exposure to things like Bitcoin, but you know, I want to do things to honor my parents on that.
Yeah, well, maybe we will grow our way out of this. I mean, it's impressive to see. You know, every time you think things are falling apart, it's like, okay, well, some of these reports look good, so maybe we're a grower and not a shower.
Yeah, I think Terrence, and
Nothing
think of
wrong with that.
from a macro, we could do two things. We could run the economy hot, where you could see firms that are. This is also, I think, a little bit of what Larry Fink was saying, is that firms that are using the AI are going to start increasing their margins, improving their pricing capability, and securing work with clients who are slow. Right. So, yeah, my stuff's not as good as the AI, but your stuff sucks. So they buy it because we have an existing relationship. So you're going to see hot revenue for firms that are adapting to it, but you're also going to see high inflation, I think, in certain areas, in areas where things are scarce. Now, there's a guy, David ENG MBA, who I think some of you know. He comes in once in a while. He's a managing partner in a energy firm. He speaks a lot on Bitcoin. He posts just about every day on some of the structural issues with Bitcoin. I really like his analysis, but he had his view is we will see a bicameral view of inflation where scarcity inflates. So Bitcoin, energy, gold, things like that, and things that are able to come out of abundance from AI are going to see deflation, and you'll see that basket of, you know, will they cancel each other out is the issue, but you're going to see a restructuring of the assets. For me personally, what I would do, I would be long scarcity, and you have to figure out what scarcity means for you, and I would be short abundance because abundance is going to drive the price down.
Isn't that really the debasement trade in a sense?
I think so. I think it is. But you have to think it through in terms of who are the winners and who are the losers when that happens. I don't think it's. It may sound obvious to people, and it may be the simple cliche answer is to simply say, "Well, just buy Bitcoin and don't worry about it." But most people are going to have an allocation to Bitcoin, they're not going to be fully invested. They're going to be, even the Kelly criteria that Fred often talks about would put you at 70%. And so what's the other 30%? When people can say, well, put it in short-term treasuries and keep it liquid, keep your powder dry. But people who are less than that, 30, 40, 50%, or even 10% Bitcoin, they want to have complementary investments that go with it. You don't want stuff that's overly correlated, but at the same time, go to Druckenmiller's point of view is you don't get rich by diversifying, right? You pick something and with conviction, and you pick a few positions, and you concentrate your allocation to those positions, and you just better hope you're right.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's say hello to everybody else here. Tiffany, what's going on? Then we'll say hello to Mars. Oh, that sounds good. How about you, Mars?
What's up? Oh, sorry.
Hi,
Tiffany's
Lauren.
on.
It's okay. They have me covered. I
Hi.
figured Lauren was going to do that. Hi, Mars.
Oh, my bad.
You're scrambling to get off mute like me. No.
Yeah, what's on your mind this morning, Mars?
Waffles. Making
Beautiful.
making a
Beautiful.
waffle.
Yummy.
How
Bought
about you,
Bitcoin
Daniel?
yesterday. Bought Bitcoin yesterday.
Oh, you did?
So yep, I'm up on my position. So like and subscribe.
No more
Get with the
sweaters
Got
times, man.
on Temu?
What's
It's
that?
Bitcoin
Oh
Today.
yeah, Timu. No, yeah, we're
No
off
more
that.
sweaters? Okay.
No more. No
Amex
more.
and Timu.
Yeah. Well, at least he can call the credit card company and get his money back if they screw
Love that
up.
walled
That's
garden.
right.
Yeah,
That's
there's no
right.
Yeah.
final settlement, so he has the
That's right.
benefits.
You can have
Yeah.
both. You can have
Yeah.
both. Turns out you can keep money in Bitcoin and do other things too.
Turns out you can do other things, Lauren.
You can just do
Me?
things.
What?
Oh,
All right.
I'm going to write that down.
All right, let's say hi to Daniel. Maybe I don't know if Daniel knows how to do things.
Not well sometimes, but yeah, I finally had this set of block stock that is off of cap gains, and I'm thinking about dumping it for Bitcoin. So
Do
just
it.
yes, I know I should. I don't know why I even like am gun shy about it, but it's like any big amounts, you're just like, fuck, okay. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's
well,
so
future
obvious.
you will thank you. I'm sure. I'm starting to get those text messages again, which just always cracks me up. And it's just like, wait a minute, did I miss out? Should I wait? Is it going to go back down? I was like, what? When are these questions going to stop?
I
That's
don't know. Nobody knows anything. We don't have a crystal ball.
It's exactly being in it this many years, and it's like a golem ring or something, wanting the price to be like anytime I look at Bitcoin, I'm always just like, but what if it was slightly lower for me?
I know.
What if it
And the
was
funny thing
slightly lower?
is, and I mean, like, let's say you're buying a whole Bitcoin, all right? If you're fortunate enough to buy a whole Bitcoin and it was 60 and now it's 80, you're like, oh my God, I'm spending 20,000 more. But for most people, a lot of people that are just buying $100 worth or $500 worth, if you look at the difference at 60 or 80, like it's not a huge difference. It's like just buy the Bitcoin. You're not buying an entire Bitcoin anyway, so it doesn't really make a huge difference. Just buy it. And what's the difference, when it continues going up? So
Yeah, I'm thinking about like 700 grand. So I'm kind of like, I am sort of like compelled to think like, fuck, is it like this October's hanging over my head, and I'm sitting there like, it shouldn't go down, but retard memes just dictate price. So I'm
I
sure
mean,
if
the
I buy it,
retard memes have been winning over the last 2 years, oddly. And
yeah.
it's just like this self-fulfilling prophecy that there's this 4-year cycle and this is the high and this is the low. And so if the retard maxing continues, October would be the low. But I just don't see how that can hold up against what's happening in macro markets and with our debt and with treasury buybacks and with the positivity that's now coming out. I
Parents,
don't
do I
know.
have permission to blame
When you
you if
watch
I buy it today? Could I just blame you?
Yes,
Is that okay?
please.
Okay.
Yep. Please blame me.
when you watch a sports game, it doesn't necessarily show up in the stats, but you can feel momentum shift in the game. I'm sure people who are sports fans have experienced that when they watch a game. There's just feels like there's a momentum shift. That's
Lauren
the
watches curling, so it's hard for him to understand. But yeah,
Watch. I used to curl
that
there
myself.
you
is true.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian.
But
Anyway,
I
Thomas,
sense
sorry.
the momentum is shifting towards this asset class of Bitcoin and all of its cousins. And we had a tough first half of the year, and it just feels like that's over. And it's not that we wouldn't to continue the sports metaphor. It's not like we wouldn't have a bad stretch for a moment, but the game feels like it's shifted. And yeah, I mean, you might get lucky and time it right and pick up a few $1,000s, but if you do have that thesis that we're going to be over 100 or 150 new all-time highs within the next year, I think the difference between getting it for a few thousand more or less is not really going to be so. You're going to be pissed off that you missed it, and the coulda, shoulda, wouldas are annoying to have. I have them. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I didn't, and it haunts you, and it's something you don't want to do when you're sitting there. So to me, this is really the time to act. Now, how you do it, whether you do a smash buy or DCA in over a period of time, I think DCA is probably a little more conservative. But anyway, that's just my thought.
Well, if you follow Fred's power law, his law of power, it held. It really did.
Power law.
It held up. Like when we dropped and we dipped to 58, I thought, whoa, was this going to be another model that just gets broken? And whether it was just coincidental or not, I was like, oh, it kind of held up there. That was impressive.
It's at 56% right now. So
what does that mean?
We're at 56% of the power law. So what that means is kind of we have 44% move back. So almost a double still, just to get back to, in other words, the fair value of the power law is 144,000.
Today, that's per the power law, that's what Bitcoin's price should be.
Yeah.
Fred, correct. Isn't this also true? The model price is 144 and it grows up every day, but the idea of mean reversion from the low band to back to this model price, which is in the middle of the bands, it's more likely than not to overshoot that middle line.
Yeah,
would you agree with that?
I mean, that's just the median. Look, it spends more time below the mean than it does above the mean, but it definitely overshoots, and it typically will overshoot by 2x, right? So sort of the 2x band would be 300,000 here. So in a bull market, the so-called banana zone, we're going to get above 300K. I don't know how long.
Terrence loves the banana zone.
12 months. I mean, 12 months we could be eating banana splits. We're still, the point is, we're still way, way, way undersold. And we're more, even if we got back to all-time high, we would still be below undersold. So we've got a long way to go, I think.
Fred is struggling to eat that burrito or whatever he was having this morning.
Hey, I invited Last Coin Standing up, but I'm
did
not
too.
sure. I'm not sure he's available because he has a really cool app about the power law and he knows a lot about it too. But if you can't join Last Coin, no worries. Fred, maybe so. Remember, was it 2 cycles ago when Plan B with his stock to flow model was so popular? Well, I have a question.
Here we go.
Where are we going?
Well, the whole stock to flow, STF.
Well, stock to flow makes sense, but his model, everyone from Preston Pish to, I think even Lynn, like everyone was like, hey, this actually works. It makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And then when it broke, and then everyone trashed it. And I just wondered, is that model completely broken or has he adopted the power law?
It never worked. I mean, the thing about the model is
never worked.
It never
worked. Yeah.
It just wasn't statistical. It just wasn't, the whole thing was a fraud. I mean, like, what can I tell you? Like, it's not, well, I don't want to go into why it was completely failed, or not failed, but why it was completely fraudulent. But the power law is a very simple statistical model, right? It actually, if you approach this thing like a statistic problem, you will get the power law. You will not get the stock to flow, right? This stock to flow model is, it's just wrong. It's just a wrong piece of math that unfortunately got enormous popularity, right? And
I
to
think
this
because
day,
he hit a couple of numbers like Josh Mandel, like to the penny, and so it
right?
freaked people out. Yeah.
The
Well,
problem with stock to flow is it was a supply side only pricing. It missed half the equation, which is the demand component.
well, no, because the power law also doesn't have any demand model, right? So neither. Here's the thing: the stock to flow model is just a misinterpretation. The reason why the stock to flow model worked at all is because it basically was a transform of the power law, right? That's kind of why it worked at all. So it just was bad math. It was sort of like if I was grading it on a thing, I would say, well, I'm sorry, you have some good ideas here, but F, you know.
Yeah, but I don't personally put much weight on the power law.
Yeah,
You
but
do. I know
that,
you do. You're a big advocate for it, but I'm not. I'm not.
okay, well, I mean, I don't
Fred,
know.
he's a candy bar.
I'm just candy bar.
Be
You're a
careful.
candy bar. I'm a math guy, so
You're what?
I'm a math guy, so I look.
Oh, you're a math guy. Got
So
it.
yeah,
Got
I
it. Yeah,
actually
one
look
of
at
those
the.
guys.
You don't. I mean, I don't know what you look at, but
Fred.
you're not. You're not. Look, I'm just telling you that statistically, right now, if you looked at the data and you said, "What is the statistical model?" and they said, "Well, this model," you'd be like, "Well, yeah, that's the best statistical model for the behavior of the price and the adoption rate and the hash rate of Bitcoin." Last point standing. Help educate these people a bit, please.
Hey there, guys. Yeah. Just to add a couple of points to what Fred said, and these points are actually sort of interrelated. The first is that when you look at the power law trend, it has an R squared of 95%, maybe slightly higher than 95%.
You lost
So
me at R squared.
yeah, which just means that you can say by that from a statistician's point of view, looking at the data, that 95% of the trend price movement in Bitcoin is explained by the power law, which is pretty crazy in and of itself. But the second point is that if you look at historical data on Bitcoin and you only look at out of sample data up until the end of say 2017, and this is on my website at Last Coin Standing, the power law overview. You can actually change the out of sample data that you're looking at. But if you just look at say up until the end of 2017, and draw the trend line based on that, so you're missing the last 9 years of data, it actually draws a trend line that is within 1% of our current trend line. So if you present those 2 points to a statistician who knows nothing about Bitcoin, they would say that this is a remarkable correlation. This is a remarkable relationship. And yeah, those are just the 2 points that I wanted to add.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you another one, which is really absolutely amazing, right? Which is you take the log of prices, and this is something Giovanni pointed out to me about a year ago. I had to do it myself to even prove it, but you take the log of prices and you average them over a moving average over 4 years, right? So sort of a running moving average of the log of prices,
Sort of
and you
like the 200-week moving average, really.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like the 200-week moving average of the logs of price, right? And you plot that against the log of time. That is a
Put
straight.
down the bagel, Fred.
That is a straight line with. I mean, it's a straight line. There's no variation on that. And what that means is you could sort of say, well, you're using moving average, but the data from 2012 to 2016, it's unbelievable that would project exactly today's data. It's unbelievable, but yet it does. So once you normalize out for the 4-year effect, for the bull and bear markets, the thing, it trends at exactly a straight line. It's like, it's almost like it was just planned this way. It's unbelievable. So, my view is, after having really looked at the data very, very substantially, I think the power law is a law. I think it's going to hold for at least another 10 years. And I think if you do look at it intensely, it'll give you even more reason to be really long Bitcoin, and I mean 70% plus.
Well, I don't want to be put in jail, so I'm going to follow that law, Fred. Thank you for describing it.
There's no predetermined adoption path for Bitcoin,
Mars, it's the law.
which makes it really hard to map
Stick
price action in the
stick
future.
with candy bars. Stick with candy bars.
Did it start as a
Hey,
bill and
Fred,
then some become a law?
where'd you go to school?
Little place called Stanford.
No, before that.
Hard knocks.
Little place called high school, I
High
think.
school. Okay. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we got all your accreditations out there, so before we trust you.
Yeah, verify. What'd you
Are
say,
you
Daniel?
are you a credentialist
Yeah,
candy bar?
are you like you credentialed, Fred?
Yeah, he's got a PhD.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And it's the law, Mars, so easy.
It's the law.
I told you, you don't want to go to jail. Um, sorry, what'd you say, Daniel? The
Oh
candy bar
no,
was
I
talking.
don't think I had anything serious that I was saying whatsoever.
Welcome to my world.
Last coin, did you have anything more? If not, we'll say hello to Mr. Hoddle.
No, nothing more for me. Thanks.
Okay, well, hang out. Mr. Hoddle, what's going on in your world?
A lot, unexpectedly.
Oh yeah, you
Uh,
have your new entropy app, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's mine, but yeah, I, uh, I can't even say I developed it. My AI developed it, but I think it's useful for power users. I don't think it's like I'm not gonna be shilling it. Like like if you're a power user and you speak Bitcoin, you'll know it, you'll understand it, you'll find it useful. Um, but it was really more like in the beginning I really did it for myself and like a couple of other people, and like talking about, there's this whole argument now that storing seeds is not, it's not as safe as having a wall.dat file. And it's true, right? You do need more pieces in order to restore a seed phrase. A wall.dat file already has everything there. But I figured once having that like debate with someone, I figured why not have something where you give it the entropy, it will give you your Bitcoin Core private key and your seed words. It'll give you both. And one of the benefits of actually having something like that is if you don't have your derivation paths for your seed, well, now you could just restore your entire balance with Bitcoin Core, and you have that key. So I don't know. It's useful. It's definitely useful for people that understand Bitcoin and speak Bitcoin. I don't think it'll be very useful for normies, but yeah, that's about it. Oh wait, there's one more thing. It's the bad nonce feature is pretty cool. So one of the attack vectors with hardware wallets is if they're reusing nonces, which after a bunch of transactions, they'll be able to reveal the private key. And there's an option on there where you're able to put your PSBT, and you will get a different value for the R value, which means that if the same R value gets used, there's a problem. If there's a different R value for every transaction, then you're okay. You only have to do it once to make sure that your hardware wallet isn't going to hack you in the future. So that's another cool feature. But again, I don't think that's something that a normie would need to know. I think this is more someone that's interested in Bitcoin and has hardware wallets. They probably want to know. And there's really nothing out there that actually checks for bad nonces. So yeah, I think it's pretty useful.
So really, just one question, and then we'll say hello to Kelly. In general, you could take your app or website link, put it on a machine that's air gapped right off the internet, and generate your private key and seeds or seed and then confirm that it has had enough entropy. And
Every character that you put in, it will give you the exact amount of bits that you have inside. It won't tell you the randomness, right? It's impossible to know the randomness, but it will tell you the entropy. It will tell you if it has enough entropy to meet that criteria. Sorry, it's pouring here right now.
got it. Kelly, what's going on? How come we haven't seen you in forever? Is it because the bear market wiped you out? You sold everything, you left?
No,
That's what we
man,
all
I've been
thought.
here.
Yeah,
I've
that's what
been here.
everyone was saying. They were like,
No,
he
no,
got
no.
wiped out.
I stacked heavy in end of June through the end of July. But no, I've just been primarily running the Discover Crypto account, so I'm typically on that account, and I've been building a bunch of AI systems and research tools and stuff for our community over there. But no, I'm still here. Been active every day, just on a different account. Tune into you guys regularly. But how you guys doing, man? You guys haven't been wiped out, I'm sure, right?
No, we're all Bitcoiners, so we don't really have anything to be wiped out.
That's right.
Yeah, but and I know you dabble in crypto. Do you still feel positive that there is going to be some kind of jubilee or run for those coins, or are you mostly Bitcoin these days?
I'm definitely mostly Bitcoin, but I have some small allocations to very focused you know altcoins outside of Bitcoin as well. My sort of reasoning on that is, one, I've done the diligence on those projects, and two, I think you look at the way the world's crumbled over the last you know eternity to where we're at now. The gambling degen mindset in the entire broader markets is wild, with the rise of what we've seen with all these betting, perp sites and Kalshi and Poly Market. The whole world feels like a betting field now, and they're seeing a lot of millennials and younger. I can't even remember what you call the people newer than millennials, but the 20-year-olds into early 30s.
Gen Z.
Yeah, there you go, Gen Z. Just so actively participating in betting markets and sports
So do you
betting.
think a lot of the crypto traders went into Polymarket stuff or vice versa?
No, I think if anything, especially with the advent of Polymarket and Kalshi, I think it will actually be an introduction to crypto to a lot of people that otherwise were not yet comfortable with it. But I think the world's going to degen. I think the broken money that the world is feeling right now with, and I've talked about this before, with how quick inflation spiked from COVID, was a very in your face understanding of the devaluation of the dollar. And I think there's a lot of lost hope. And this, especially in America, this idea of the American dream and what you're supposed to be able to do. And, the housing running away, rent running away, and wages not really keeping up. And at the same time, we got $40 trillion in debt. But now we have this explosion in all these alternative means of hope extraction, whether it be betting markets or altcoins or meme coins. I don't think that the liquidity is ever going to dry up in all reality in those other sectors of the market. So I do think the altcoin market will probably have a bit of a resurgence. I think it's a fool's errand to prioritize any significant portion of a portfolio thinking you're going to make it big there. I think Bitcoin has to be, in my perspective, this isn't financial advice. This is just looking at data over the last 100 years of stock market in addition to crypto. You got to find, reasonably low risk assets that also have very high asymmetric upside. And of course, Bitcoin is preeminently number one in that regard. But at the same time, I also, the two or three altcoins that I'm stacking into, or I don't want to say stacking into, that I hold a bag of, I only hold in the kind of hope that I'm expecting them to have a small period of time over the next 3 years where they outperform Bitcoin. And I'm going to rotate all those profits into Bitcoin. So,
Kelly,
but
can you name
I'm
these
excited about
Voldemort
the next
assets?
3 years.
Are these
What's that?
assets like Voldemort? Can you name them? Or are they?
No, I just didn't want to be like pumping my bags. They're big assets. Tau is one of them, and that's partially because it's 21 million, supply like Bitcoin, and it's kind of riding that AI narrative. And the other one is Aerodrome, which is very much part of the tokenization push. Big backing from Coinbase and other players, and as well as a lot of the DeFi.
So I guess my question would be like, I mean, that's been the thesis of, I'll be respectful for the next 2 minutes and call them altcoins, for like ever. Like, hey, I'm just thinking this one's going to go up shortly and then rotate into Bitcoin. And I understand that there's this whole like altcoin season meme, but like I think we've kind of decoupled quite a bit from that, as we've seen like all of those coins sort of traded down versus Bitcoin. So
Yeah, priced in Bitcoin, aren't they all substantially down, like all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they all fall exponentially more than Bitcoin on the downside, and some of them, and I think this is what's going to wreck a lot of people in the altcoin market going forward. They think that there's going to be a kind of throw a dart at the board. They look at 2017 and even the last sort of mini cycle where you saw a pretty broad array of assets, very wide, just absolutely pumping. And I think it's going to become a lot more focused. I do think it's a fool's errand to pick altcoins thinking you're going to outpace Bitcoin, but at the same time, rather than sports betting, I have 2 coins outside of Bitcoin that I'm comfortable just because of the narratives that they ride. But Bitcoin is obviously the absolute number one focus.
Meh.
I don't know how to follow that. It was nice to meet you in Las Vegas, Kelly. I know you made it home recently. I think that was right around the time of Terrence's speech, which was also cool.
Yeah, it was great to see him up there. Really nice presentation.
What did you speak on, Terrence?
I spoke
Power law.
Yeah,
the story of Bitcoin, the character of story play
through the eyes of Hollywood.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it was the hero's journey.
The hero's journey.
I thought your presentation, I didn't see the actual thing live, but the slides are amazing, Terrence.
Oh, thanks, Fred. Yeah, that was what took the longest. The talk itself wasn't very difficult to write, but the slides took me forever, and I'm spending just as much time on those slides for the Midwest Bitcoin conference because
he does them all by hand. He's an artist. He draws all of those.
Same kind of hero.
It's going to be it's called Bitcoin: The Greatest Story Never Told, and I'm going to go through some popular movie tropes that are used to help tell story and how we can use those tropes to help tell Bitcoin story a little bit better.
Speaking of movies, nope, it's not time. Never mind.
I wish there was
a little teaser.
Bitcoin movie. There should be an actual like blockbuster Bitcoin movie. Would be great.
Oh, there is. I mean, did everybody see that movie Finding Satoshi? I mean, I thought it was amazing. I don't know if you guys.
Is that the one where they thought Peter Todd was Satoshi, or am I thinking of a different?
Not that one.
No, that was the bad HBO documentary. He's talking about the one done by Tucker Tooley and Happy Walters.
I'd like to go in a different direction. I think we need like reality TV show, like a Survivor style, like elimination Bitcoiner show where like the winner gets like a citadel. Like everyone lives in like a 10 acre lot with the house and the hobby farm, and whoever like survives the elimination, like Survivor, ends up, keeping the land and the hobby farm.
Could win that depending on the island they pick to drop them. I think some islands in the Pacific chain have populations of feral cats, so he may be able to pull out a W.
There we go. He'd do just great there.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, and I think something buzzy and noisy like that would get attention.
Terrence, we need to do Celebrity Bitcoiner. What do you think? I think Celebrity Apprentice.
Celebrity Bitcoin Deathmatch.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just mix all of them. I mean, look, I think any of those would be great. The problem is they would mostly just play within our own community because the networks aren't going to play that. They're not going to touch that. That's the problem. And because there's too many advertisers that don't want to be associated with Bitcoin because of the FTX stuff. That still hangs heavy. But that would be good. I mean, but back to what you said, Daniel, as far as like a big blockbuster, you know what I think would really, really do it is we need something like The Social Network or like Steve Jobs. We need something on the do a period piece on the early cryptographers and all of these guys working on trying to solve digital money. And there's a lot of drama behind the scenes, and you have it in Northern California, and you have it at the time where you have all of these guys, Stornetta, and you have the cypherpunks and everyone who's putting together all the bricks that helped build Bitcoin, and including characters who we might say might be Satoshi, and we don't have to ever say, but the audience can try to figure it out. But there could be something really, really cool, just like Social Network was sort of like how Facebook came to be.
Well, Terrence, it would be cool. You remember Saving Private Ryan? You know how they started at the
Lawrence
end.
saw Saving Private Ryan's Privates, but that was the other
different.
one. Yeah.
But they have the older gentleman going back to Normandy, and then it goes back in retrospective, to it's like starting the movie with where we're at now with these billions and flows and all, but then retrospectively going back, and I mean, because I don't think people really understand. Like somebody just mentioned this award at the end for Bitcoin, and you look back at like old magic competitions and stuff where and there's plenty of different examples of this where there was like 100 Bitcoin payout and people just disregarded it because it didn't matter, because this is early days when people were just discounting it. But let alone all, as you just mentioned, all these different figureheads that were just fighting through the muck of just complete ignoramucy around what Bitcoin actually is. And now here we are with it being vetted as the world's hedge against the nasty everything going on with money now.
To be fair, Terrence and I have spent hours on the phone pitching movie ideas back and forth, laughing our asses off. And I think we are very close to.
Well, those are the you mean like the silly reality docs? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It would be funny. But
I wonder why Saylor doesn't actually, like, in all seriousness, if he really wanted to push Bitcoin hard, fund it himself. If he just said, look, I'll have Blockbuster people, because there's no way the best way to reach kind of the layperson mushy masses that have maybe heard of Bitcoin but probably just can't even be concerned with it, is to put something pop culture out there that is positive, that's like super compelling. I mean, you drop like $100 million on that, and you probably make back that just in the price that they would all push it up to in his on his side. I mean,
yeah.
Hollywood's still anti-Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay, listen up, Dunskies.
I mean, the only movies, and they're more like indie, that are being made are like these crime thrillers, and like someone's lost their key or where are the words, and I mean that makes sense, like doing some kind of heist. But those are always a little crypto adjacent. There is a new movie coming out, but unfortunately, it's funded by Craig Wright. It has Casey Affleck in it and Pete Davidson, and it's being directed by Doug Liman, who's a major director. The Bourne Identities, Swingers, if you remember that. And so I suspect the movie will be good, but I suspect us Bitcoiners are going to hate it.
Well, we need a movie that doesn't have the association of Bitcoin with some sort of illicit thing that's happening. Because like, there's a show that I just watched on Apple TV called Lucky, and they ended up having $10 million that was stolen, but then what happened was they actually put it into Bitcoin, and then they had to find the keys. But it was all around this criminal thing that was going on. There's so many obviously overwhelmingly incredible benefits to Bitcoin, from banking people to the explosion in growth that we've seen, where it's still going from here, the agnostic nature outside of government control. There's so many different things that I agree with you. I think Saylor there's plenty of storylines that could be developed showing the prowess and the positive side of this asset.
I think Mars is onto something, though, because those shows are cheaper to make, even though they're expensive. Shiny floor shows and game shows are expensive, and they become regulated by the state and whatnot, because they are true, if they're to remain true lotteries. But there's something fun you could do there, or you can just produce the hell out of it, and it doesn't have to be a true game show. But I think that would be fun.
Well, yeah, I think it's reality, right? Or you mean reality?
Yeah, reality. But he was talking about a game. When you get into the game show territory, it's you're allowed to go back afterwards, after someone's really won, and then you create the stories. I mean, that's how, like, The Bachelor or Survivor, all these things are done. They're all completely produced. But the game aspect itself is first played because the gaming commission, I mean, lawyers are literally on set there to make sure that it's fair. But once that's set aside, then you can go back and make all the drama. You write all the drama you want.
Mars, what if it was called Hodel House and they could only find jobs where
That's very
paid is,
exciting. They all sit in front of their computer, and who can hodl the longest.
yeah,
We
but
just watch the
that
That
would
clock
be
sounds
years
like
go.
one of those
long all day.
influencer houses.
But what if it was you had to get a job that paid in Bitcoin, so your prospects were already tough, and then you had to buy all of your shit in Bitcoin, and you had to live in this house, and then like the first person who went to zero, or maybe you know what? Maybe it's
Or it could be like Grant.
it's whoever can say hodl the most Bitcoin by the end of the season while having a job that's paid in Bitcoin and buying all of their house goods in Bitcoin. So they'd all end up emaciated. And then
Yeah, but
someone would be,
Bitcoiners, they're willing to do anything. Everyone, they're gonna have to split the prize.
Honestly, I would prefer to see Shitcoin House and watch just a bunch of guys peddling these really bad shitcoins and go.
That's
broke.
actually pretty funny. It would point to Bitcoin because of that. Or maybe it needs to
I
be
was
like
thinking like Big Brother style, where they just like can't leave the grounds, and it's just all about like social positioning and like making alliances and like kicking people out of the group chat. You know, all this behavior that like we're already like very natural and used to, like being on Bitcoin Bitcoin Twitter. Like it's just all about that.
or maybe like Undercover Millionaire. Did you guys see that with Grant?
Yes, love
Yeah,
that show.
exactly. Yeah,
But
so
I think
undercover millionaire, but you have to spot the Fed instead of the millionaire. So who is like the 15 people is like the secret Fed, and you
you could
slowly
call it
vote people off based
secret
off your
stack,
suspicions. Yes.
secret stack. Who's got the biggest stack of them all?
I think the realistic one to emerge is the um like the treasure hunter style show where you have Bitcoiners looking for like abandoned wallets, storage units,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Or like
Well,
the Amazing Race.
like Storage Wars.
there's the one guy who's done that actual show for his life in that one fucking landfill in the UK.
Oh, the
And
XRP guy, the Ripple
he
guy.
did what was
No,
it Ripple? I thought it was at Bitcoin.
He
Well,
lost like thousands of Bitcoin in a landfill, and he's been trying to raise
It's on a
money.
yeah,
hard
he
drive.
works for Ripple, or he used to.
Oh wow, that's a twist. I didn't know that. But yeah, he's been actually doing that show real life, and I don't think the show ended well for him. I think he finally lost his last injunction to like continue fucking around with this landfill, and he just has to look at he can wave at his hard drive that's somewhere beneath the trash like every day endearingly.
Yeah, for the best fiction show, Mars, you already got it right there, dude. It's big Bitcoin, dude. This is like Mad Men style Wall Street trying to crush the hodler. It's all right there.
Oh yeah, I
Stargate
like that
level.
Mad Men style. They're like all in suits and talking about rappers and derivatives, and then there's Mars, skateboarding along, flipping
I
them
think you
off.
could do one. I think you could definitely do one where you followed Sailor around. Like that kid, I've been in person with that dude and like sat down for like a one-on-two, I guess it was. And he is every bit
Well, I would do
as
that in a
nuts.
heartbeat. I just don't know, that he would want to do that or how you pitch that. But to me, that's fascinating because his private, like if you break down his private life, it's like, who is this guy? Like it's really interesting. Like he's
I want to be in the meetings where they decide whether they're going to buy more Bitcoin though. Like, I can just imagine walking in the meeting and be like, "We're going to fucking do it," and the people are like, "I don't know, sir. Here's the chart." And he's like, "All right, just put another dot," or I don't know, just going insane.
yeah,
Sailor
but
style.
then you juxtapose that with just like, does he eat alone? What does he do? What's his hobby? What does he go bowling? Who are his friends?
When
He's
I
just
was
on the
at his
phone with
house,
Breedlove the whole time. That's all. He just sits there. He calls Breedlove. He
No,
goes,
Breedlove's out of it, Dom. Breedlove's becoming like some Iron Man or something now.
yeah, I know, but Sailor probably still calls him all the
He's the
time. And
peptide king.
he's like, Breedlove, like, talk to me now, and Breedlove's like, look, I have to go.
the one time I was at his house for a meeting, it was like me and this other guy from Block. We get there, and it's the one in Miami on the water, and walk in, and he has this like pool house with a pool, and there's just a random ass collection of people there. There's probably like 12, 13, 15 other people, whatever. And some are sitting by the pool, others are like in the pool house, and we go in there, and he's like, "You want some pizza? We got some pizza coming." This is just random. It wasn't like Bitcoin Pizza Day. It was pizza. And the fucking pizza arrived while we were standing there, and like everyone just like randomly comes in, grabs a slice, and he grabs one slice, and we go sit under the yacht, like the shadow of the yacht, on this gazebo. And
The
yeah, it was like
yacht's
the
so big it
craziest.
casts a shadow.
It is. It was. We were in the shadow of the
Oh,
yacht, and it was the crazy. It was like one of the craziest 30 minutes I've ever observed. Like he just straight up argued with me about decentralized identity for a solid 30 minutes, and we like didn't agree, and it was pretty respectful. But I was like, wow, okay. Like he just argued with me. There was no outcome. That was the weirdest part. There was just no outcome. He just like decided he just wanted to talk about it. And so at the end, I was like, why? What did I achieve by coming here? I didn't feel like anything. And then they came out that orange shit that was like completely like his side. Like he just stuck to his guns. And it was like 6 months later. I was like, oh, that's what he was probably trying to do, is like just learn about shit. But it was weird. He was pretty argumentative. Like I was like, wow, okay.
I mean, that's
So
what I pictured, just him having his home base and everyone comes to him for meetings, and he probably has meetings all day, and he seems like a guy that uh studies a lot, reads a lot, researches a lot, asks a lot of questions, and good or bad, like I sense he just sequesters himself there. So maybe like is it like Entourage? Does he just have a bunch of people he depends on and they're just always hanging around? Like
You
Well,
forgot,
I think
Terrence. You forgot in the AM he's on Bitcoin Today as an anon, dude.
oh
Don't
yeah, he's
forget.
here every day. Oh yeah, he's always
Sailor,
here. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Sailor, get on up here.
Well, I think he all, like you
I
said,
don't
there
see
is
was
he
his hand.
listening to this right now? Oh my god, dude! I just called him. I said it was a crazy argument. I wonder if
No,
he's
he
even
knows.
heard
He
it.
knows he's argumentative. That's all
Oh
good.
jeez. Oh, I'd love to get his perspective. Like a few years out, I think that was like it was the last time Bitcoin Conf was in Miami because it was during Bitcoin Conf. We just
Yeah,
like,
we can influence articles by him. So if we have a certain subject and we keep talking about it, you'll see the very next day there'll be an article about it.
oh man, I wonder if he's
Yeah.
gonna be pissed that I said this. Okay.
Now he's going to call out the certain Dan
Wow.
Burr. Yeah.
I know. All I know is I didn't agree with the orange stuff, and then we had like two other calls with our team about it, and I was like, it was very
You better
inefficient.
backpedal now. He's listening, Dan.
No, it's very inefficient. Like there's a lot of ways to do it, and it's just very inefficient use of block space. And I was like, you could do it a million other ways, and then they didn't listen to me and just did whatever they did. I don't even know what's going on with that project anymore. I haven't even heard about it for like 18 months or I don't know, 2 years. Did it just drop off the face of the earth? Do you guys even remember what I'm talking about? They had that orange platform they were doing.
No.
I have no
No.
idea what you're talking. I think, Daniel, I don't know if you just got here, but Bitcoin's color is orange.
Yeah, well, it was the orange platform. It was like some identity thing where they're gonna have orange.
Oh, digital
You remember
IDs?
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That was what, like, a few
A
years
few
ago.
years ago, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what we were talking about during the meeting. And well, without him saying this is called Orange or platform, it's kind of early, it must have been early. And then they did it, and I was like, wow, this is like super. I just would not have architected this way, and like told their team stuff. They just went out with it, and then I haven't heard about it. Like they were gonna basically say that. Well, the concept was like if you pay an this was the concept. If you pay an exorbitant amount of money to use like basically it was an inscription. You can inscribe effectively like a friendly name that you will own on Bitcoin, and you could like you own it for all time. And it was like an ungodly amount of money. I mean, so like $100,000 or something, and that was going to be proof that you were real, like you were a real person. Like who would spend $100,000, and that when you sent emails, it would be signed with the keys of this ID, and like you'd be like orange checked effectively. And I was like, did the math, and the way they were doing it, they couldn't even onboard more than like maybe a few 100,000 people the way they were doing it without consuming all of Bitcoin's block space. And it's just like, don't you want like other people to be on there? He's like, they were like, no, only the people that matter. I was like, well, it's going to be only like millionaires, It's just like, this is the weirdest scheme and it just went nowhere. I don't know. I'm babbling, but I just found it interesting.
Yeah, I never heard of that. What's up, Vinny? I see you up here.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. I was gonna suggest this like Big Brother idea, but the moment's got past. But I think it'd be pretty cool to do like a Big Brother, but on Spaces, and we like vote people off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I vote Vinny off. How about you guys?
I mean, isn't that already happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could be like we could have like a prize attached to it. We do like weekly Spaces, and then we like vote someone off. I don't know. I think it'd be
Based
cool.
on that
Oh, you want
suggestion,
it
I
to be
vote
for
Vinny off.
real?
What do you guys think?
Yeah. As long as it's not me.
Yeah. All right, Tiffany, you can drop Vinny. Tiffany drops the hammer. Oh, look, there he goes. Good job, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
Guys. Oh, Lord. Yep, that was me every time.
You really boot
Dom.
him? Did you boot him?
Yeah, Tiffany did.
Yeah,
She
I
dropped the
agreed.
hammer. He suggested the game, so
Oh,
there you go. That's how you play it.
We needed a real life example. Thanks for volunteering as tribute for that one, Vinny.
Dom, did you want to jump in? If not, we'll go to House.
Jump in about what, Terrence?
Well, you're on the stage. You can't just be a dumb fireman every day. When you come to the stage, you got to say something. And you often have some good stuff to say. Otherwise, Tiffany might drop the hammer on you. Be careful. It's a new game.
Oh, this we're on the vote off period now.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to offer something good, a good discussion, something you read, something you know. Otherwise, Tiffany drops you. Boom.
What if it was Bitcoin teams in international waters and they were on watercraft and they could do their race to ports where they might be able to resupply in Bitcoin, and whoever wins the race gets the prize?
Like on jet skis?
No,
Mm,
like on
A gang
on some
of
kind of
jet
boats,
skis?
kind of
Oh.
ships.
Like extreme sports all of a
Maybe for
sudden.
an episode, but it breaks one of those three Hollywood laws, and that's to never shoot on water, never shoot with children, and never shoot baseball.
You know, a deadly serious
Wasn't
idea.
there a crabs show though that people liked?
Yeah, there's a crab one. It's Pacific
Yes,
Crab
deadliest
Festival.
catch.
My
Deadliest
mom
catch.
loves that show.
We
Yeah,
can get hooked
that
up with
stuff's pretty
Stormy.
hardcore. I have some cameramen friends who have died shooting that show. Anyway,
You know what would be a
Jace,
legit one is if you did a version. I'm not even kidding. Like if you could do this, Terrence, a version of Pardon the Interruption, like they do on. I don't know if that show's still on, like ESPN or whatever, where it's around the horn or whatever, and you like the people get to make their points. It'd be perfect for a Bitcoin show. They get to make their points, and then you're like the arbiter, and you like say good point, bad point, and like the winner at the end with the most points, who's made the best points for like the session, which would be like the Bitcoin Today session, gets like I don't know, it's like 30-second monologue or a minute
Now we're
monologue to like
talking. I interrupt
talk
all
his
the
shit.
time, and we go around the horn. We're halfway there.
Have you never seen the show? You should watch
I've
it.
not, I've, I've never heard of that. Pardon the interruption. It sounds like a
Yeah, yeah.
BBC
Doesn't
show.
It's
watch
called around.
sport.
It's called around the horn. You're
Around the horn. It's called
confusing it
Around
with
the
the other
Horn.
one.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but in terms of discussion points, I mean, yesterday I was at PubKey. The on ramp guys were there. The CEO, I think it's like Mike Tagley or something, and then also a guy named Jackson. They were kind of had like an information session. We're just talking about the product, obviously in light of some of the custodial issues, in light of the cold card hack. So they were, kind of just discussing their offering. So it's like a tripartite solution with like BitGo and I forget the other ones, but one of their big things is like estate planning. So like they kind of have the whole kind of estate structure built in, because when I was talking to Jackson, he was raising a good point that, a lot of us Bitcoiners, especially if you're using self custody, you pass away. There's two questions, right? One is like, does your wife actually know how to access the Bitcoin in cold storage, right? Then two, like, is there sort of any sort of like legal setup where you're ensuring that the Bitcoin is not like going into a probate proceeding where all records of like how much Bitcoin you have is now like in public court documents. So I thought, both like the core of the product, which is, again, this trilateral institutional custody solution, then also the estate planning was interesting. Then just in terms of price, I mean, we've been in a pretty tight range since that initial crazy rip up into the high 70s. I mean, we're floating just above 80 right now. I've kind of been tweeting constantly, no pump until 85K. I think once we break 85K, that's when we really start moving. But, I guess we'll see.
Why? What's the significance of 85? Just based on charts and stuff?
Honestly, it's an arbitrary number
So
in
you're
my
just making it up.
experience. Yep, just making it up. No pump till 85K.
Nice. That's helpful.
Yep.
British. British.
Oh
Good
wait.
evening.
You missed
Oh,
it. You missed it. Fred said that my skepticism on the power law is unfounded and doesn't carry any weight because, quote unquote, I'm not a math guy.
Of course, of course, of course.
it's the law, British.
Guess who I just met?
You met the father of the power law. I'm guessing.
The real father. Yeah.
and we're friends. He said I had some interesting questions. We had a great time. We had a great
There
Are
we
conversation.
you talking
go.
about the
No,
What
breaking
no
what do you
spaghetti?
spaghetti.
The
No
spaghetti
spaghetti
guy?
was hurt.
Oh,
what
wow.
British? What did he say about all those cheese vaults in Italy that have melted?
Check out the tweet that I just reposted,
Yeah, the
and
cheddar's melting
look, we
over
both
there.
got fucking smiles on our faces,
We're so back.
bro. Power law, big Bitcoin. Fucking all we need is stock to flow back, and we're
There we're
moving.
we're firing on all cylinders. Sorry,
What?
that's my wife yelling.
Oh, did I? You know what's so funny, Mars?
Oh,
These
he had to leave.
Bitcoiners
His
are
wife.
trying.
No, she's just yelling in the background, trying to get on mic here.
Mars,
Let's
these
hear her.
Bitcoiners, Mars, these Bitcoiners are
What's her
trying to
name?
press me
Snickers?
in public at the conference.
You want to talk about Bitcoiners at a conference? David Chaum, Giovanni, and Asteroid were all at the same event that I attended. They looked like three homeless people. Everybody else looked legit. It was crazy.
Yeah, Chom does look homeless. I saw him at Bitcoin Alpha this last year. Wait, Mars, is your wife Snickers there? Let's hear her. Put her on.
Oh, you kidding
Oh,
me? You think I'd
why?
fall for that shit, Terrence?
I thought you said you had a
Hi,
wife. Oh,
this
it's a
is
pretend
Mrs.
wife. I
Mars.
got
That's
you.
a
Yeah.
Fed.
It's like a
That's a
lot of
Fed,
Bitcoiners.
Mars.
It's just a
Mars, that's a
pretend
Fed.
wife. Hey, let's
Mars,
go to
that's a Fed.
Jace. Jace has his hand up. What's up, Jace?
Hey guys, back on the movie idea. Did you guys listen to the Mysteries of the Bitcoin Citadel from Paper Street Studios? It was on Fountain.fm. I think it's on Spotify now too.
No, none of us listened to it.
Well, that's too bad. You should go listen to it. It's pretty good. It's got a good story. I think that I'm not sure that that exact story could be turned into a movie, but something similar. It's some people inherit some Bitcoin, but they don't know anything about Bitcoin, and they have to go through and figure out this multi-sig thing. It's a good story.
That
So
sounds like a
check it out.
great. Sounds like a great story of how the Bitcoiners work.
Yeah, I mean, if you inherited Bitcoin but you didn't know
Anyone
anything
who
about
doesn't
it,
buy iBit was represented really well in that movie, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, British is going to make the iBit movie. It's actually a really short story.
It's
These
super short,
these guys have money, they buy iBit, and then they go home. It's not very exciting, Jace.
and they get fabulously wealthy forever.
on iBit.
Anyway, listen, Terrence, I want to tell you, your friends, your Bitcoin friends, are trying to press me in public.
What are they doing?
I had three people call me out today. I'm at the Hong Kong conference over here, and three people called me out and expressed their disappointment in how I'm talking negatively about self custody, and they expected me to back down. Can you believe that? One guy took my hand to shake it, held on to it, got 3 inches away from me, and said, "I really don't like what you're saying about self custody." And I said, "Well, it's shit. So you should probably do something to fix it, and then I'll talk positively about it."
British, I got the solution for you, dude. I got this ultimate solution to save you time. Just basically start talking about how you prefer to keep your IBIT shares in self custody. And then that's your answer to
Oh,
everything.
now we're talking.
And just talk about different ways that you go, look, here's some ways that I keep my IBIT shares in self custody. I print them out and I frame them on the wall, different
Oh, this
stuff.
is amazing. This is amazing.
You can look at them like Wolverine in the picture frame, the stock certificate.
Anyway, this was fun. It was a fun. Oh, Fred's back. What's up, Fred? Mars was telling me you were just cussing him out.
I was doing what?
We were telling how
Cussing him out.
you're a math
We were
guy
back
and
channeling about you, Fred, when you were
Mars is
gone
no.
here.
How do you
I
become a
wasn't
math
back. I
guy, by
was
the way?
just here.
What's the process of becoming a math guy? What is it?
Yeah, how do you become a math guy?
Well, you got to start early. You know that's the process.
If you didn't have a TI 83, you're DQ'd immediately.
Well, you also have to have some ability. You know, it's one of those actual PhDs where you actually have to do something. You know, my
Is your PhD in
remember,
math? I'm
yeah.
serious.
You know,
Wow.
it's
Statistics?
interesting. Man, my advisor at Cornell, and he was like, he goes, my son, he's got a PhD, and I go, oh, good, and he goes, yeah, it's in English, and if you want to get a PhD in English, all you have to do is write some crap and you turn it in, and it's called a thesis. That's it. It's
See,
bull. And I said,
Cornell
well, what do you? I think math is completely different. If you want to get a PhD, you actually have to prove something.
but
Otherwise, they won't give you the PhD. It's like
Fred,
amazing.
Cornell is bottom of the barrel for the Ivy League, bro. It's like not something you really want to be bragging that much about.
His PhD, I think, is Stanford, though. No,
Yeah, my PhD is Stanford and Mars. Thank you. For where did you go to school? Georgia Tech,
No,
right?
I went to Princeton.
No, Princeton.
Arizona State. That's where
Get
he
the
went.
fuck out of here! You went to
Fuck
You
Princeton?
out of
went to
here,
AZ
bitch.
State, Terrence?
Cornell's Cornell was my safety school, bitch.
I think I got
He
everyone
actually
beat
went
here
to
on this entire
University of
panel, dude.
Phoenix online. So yeah.
Hey,
That
I
sounds
went to
about right.
Chico. I
That
went to
sounds
Chico
about right.
State. I
I
officially
dual
went to the
majored
worst
in
Benny,
school.
you
Trump
went to Chico
University in
State?
DeVry.
Yeah, Chico State is. I wanted to
Dude,
be
that
the
was a great
worst.
party school. I used to go down there all the time.
Yeah, it was great for that, I guess.
I got a question. I got a question for British. I know I sounds like you're not a fan of self custody, which is fine. I completely agree.
Who
But
said that? What
you
made? What would ever make you think
this,
that?
but I do have a question.
That's Mr.
Do
Hoddle with the
you
gas mask,
do
British. He
you
has a new
realize
profile.
do you realize that in order, like, someone has to hold Bitcoin, right? So it's either like, someone in IBIT has to hold Bitcoin. There's somebody has to hold Bitcoin. I just hope we're on the same page with that. Like, you might, like,
What?
sure, you might not be able to self custody, but someone's gonna have to do it.
What? Really?
What he's well, yeah, okay. So
So
Brit
so
he
the so what I'm trying to ask, so like,
This is like
you're
a
not
Down syndrome fucking debate.
you're against certain people from self custody. You would rather have only, like, institutional people self custody. I don't know
Yeah, I would
why.
rather my parents not self custody and they
So then,
trust
all right.
BlackRock and
So
their
okay.
team of nerds to keep their Bitcoin safe. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's fine. That's fine. But why do you care if somebody else self custody? That's what I don't
I don't
understand.
care. No, I don't care. I'm just giving
It
my
sounds like you
opinion.
really.
Do
What do
what?
you mean?
No,
You were
I'm with
fucking talking
you.
shit about it.
I'm with
Oh,
you.
okay. All right.
Everyone do whatever they want to do. I'm with you.
All right. Yeah, because, like, I mean,
No, I'll
like,
still give my
to
fucking
to
opinion.
tell someone like Daniel or Terrence or Lauren not to self custody, it sounds
I
retarded.
have
Like
never
that.
told Terrence not to self custody ever.
So you're telling people, like, your parents not to self custody.
100%.
All right, then why is that a story? I don't get, like, what the fuck, like, what are you even talking about? Why are people even, like, coming up to you about that? Because you
Well,
don't
I
want
don't
your parents to
know.
self custody.
These Bitcoiners are retarded. I've been saying this for like the last 3 weeks. I am very
Like,
bullish on Bitcoin. I'm extremely bearish on the Bitcoiners.
yeah, I don't know. I just
They're
feel like
mentally fucking unequipped.
unequipped for what? To self custody?
Everything. It's a lost.
But why do you care? Like, I just can't. Like,
I
why do
don't
you
care.
bring that up?
I have an opinion in public, so I just give it.
Mr. Hodel, I don't think he cares. It's like how we make fun of like the 110 stuff. It's not that I actually care
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
I like talking about it because it's such a train wreck and I enjoy
Yeah.
watching train wrecks.
I'm with you though. Like everyone should do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's just all I'm saying. You got to be aware of the risks, and you got to know that when the Bitcoiners are telling you that they are, verifying, they were actually trusting, and they're just larping.
Well, I mean, no. That's. I mean, if you're talking about the cold card, people tried to verify. I mean, they had competitors. They had Ledger
I don't know.
going through their ass.
Were you on Clubhouse back in the day or no? Are you part of that group?
No, I was
All
I was
right.
on
So let me
CZ
tell
before
you. So let me
Clubhouse.
tell you my experience, and you may understand my position a bit more. I sat on Clubhouse for 3 years, and I heard the Bitcoiners right suck
Like who? Like
MVK.
who? Like who?
I mean, the Bitcoiners, like the people that were recommending Cold Card, right? I
Okay.
sat there because I was unequipped to fucking look at the tech stack of Cold Card, right? And I sat there and I heard these Bitcoiners suck NVK dry on how great Cold Card was. And then five
MVK
years
was on
later,
Clubhouse.
yeah. And then 5 years later, right? And I also heard NVK cuss out other people and their custody solutions and all this other shit. And then
Yeah, he did.
5 years later, I saw my friends and $130 million of other people's money just evaporate. Mars was there. Mars knows exactly what I'm talking about on Clubhouse back in the day.
Have
This
you?
is the level of responsibility of the Bitcoiners, and I don't trust it anymore. I'm sorry. Forgive
Right.
me.
No, I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't care who you trust, but do you see it the same way when they lost money on FTX or any
100%.
other?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so
But
it's really the same
by the
thing.
way,
I
the
mean,
Bitcoiners
when
were
your
doing
friends lose
really.
money,
Hold on. The Bitcoiners were doing really well, telling people not to leave their money on FTX and Celsius. That they did a great job at that.
but they fell for the real fucking, affinity scam of cold card. So the Bitcoiners are
Yeah,
mentally unequipped.
but it's such a smaller number. Like it's not even comparable.
Well, so that does that mean like my friend's net worths don't matter because it was a
No,
smaller
no, no, no,
number?
no. Your friend should have never been. I mean, to
What,
some
using
people,
cold card? I
unfortunately.
agree.
No, no, no. Forget about cold card. I'm talking about Bitcoin in general. Like Bitcoin is not for everyone. I mean, IOUs, yeah, sure,
Maybe,
IOUs are for
yeah,
everyone.
maybe. I agree with
Yeah,
you. Yeah, maybe.
Bitcoin is, but that has nothing to do with like
But
that's
remember, the
just
ETFs
Bitcoin.
weren't out then, right? The ETFs weren't out then, and then when the ETFs came out, they would have had to sell their Bitcoin, take the tax hit, to actually move it into the ETFs. So they didn't want to do that,
Sure,
and they
but like,
trusted the Bitcoiners.
but you still, in order to have these ETFs and IBIT, you need to have demand for the actual underlying asset, which has to be self custody, right? Like, there's no way
No,
around it.
that's
So in
wrong.
order for that to succeed, it's
That's
wrong. Why is
wrong.
it wrong? Let me
Demand
hear
for
it.
IBIT is demand for Bitcoin.
So they would just keep buying the Bitcoin if there's more demand for IBIT, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's
That's how an
exactly how it
ETF
works.
works. Yeah.
So if say this, okay, let's put a scenario where IBIT. So
Can I just say in
Wait a
one
second.
sentence?
Wait. Let me chime in a second here.
yeah,
I don't understand how that point was missed. When somebody goes, the catch with IBIT, this is the catch, is that if I go buy IBIT, then BlackRock has to go buy Bitcoin. But if I sell IBIT, then IBIT has to sell Bitcoin. It works in both directions. I don't know why that was missed. We've been
They're
talking about this.
mentally unequipped, Green. Like I've been saying this.
British,
They
but
don't
this is two
understand
and a
this
half
shit.
years. This is
no, no,
two and a
no,
I
half
no, no.
years
know.
after
I
it
What I'm
came
know. They're
saying,
out.
mentally
no, no,
unequipped.
no.
I
What
know.
I'm
I
saying
just
is
give
this.
me evidence
No, no,
every
no.
time.
The point is the only self custodial, I guess, entity out there. If they have
What do you mean
15
by
million
that?
Bitcoin.
What do you mean? There's I think there's 7 spot Bitcoin ETFs that went live. There
No,
was
no, no.
Then
eight.
I'm
there's
saying
strategy, then there's
if
sovereign wealth funds. So
Right. What are
this
you, what are you
kind of
talking
okay,
nightmare,
about?
fine, fine.
Mentally
I'm saying
this
unequipped.
nightmare scenario where IBIT has
all the
all the IBIT and
UTXOs are
nothing's
being
moving
held
on
by
chain doesn't
all
work.
the UTXOs are being held by these 7 entities. Do you think that's a healthy network? Do you think it's valuable?
Yeah, I
Mentally
do. Yeah.
unequipped.
Yes. You sorry. Yes, it is. I'm not, by the way, I'm not
Why?
sorry.
Why do you think? Why? So you're not worried about 7 entities holding all the Bitcoin in the world. You
It's
don't think
not
that's
just seven
I'm
entities.
more
There's
worried about
ETFs.
Mr.
Bitcoiners
Hoddle.
holding their
No, no,
Bitcoin keys.
let me be straight. Mr. Hoddle.
uh
Have you ever heard of something called the Gini coefficient?
no. Tell me.
No, the Gini coefficient is the distribution of wealth that happens. Another term that people might use is the Pareto distribution, which is typically known as the 80-20 rule. So 20% of the people, right, own 80% of the land in Italy when Pareto, the mathematician, coined this rule. Bitcoin actually does not have a good Gini coefficient. Okay, so bitinfo.charts, I've been posting this for years. I've been this for 9.5 years. Bitcoin is highly skewed to, and one person can have more than one address, right? But if you just look at that, the vast majority of Bitcoin is controlled by the top 20%. The Gini coefficient or Pareto distribution of Bitcoin is not particularly good. It has already been centralized, and I've posted about this for over almost a decade. So what you're
Wait, but
saying
how do
is,
you know? How do you know each address isn't owned by a different individual? Those addresses were spent from. I could
so
understand that.
what I'm saying is, if you assume that it's one person per address, then you would
It's still
say
highly
that's the
concentrated.
best. It's higher concentrated if you believe that one person controls multiple
But the
addresses.
80-20 thing, I think it just kind of follows the retard rate in most things as a generality. Like obviously like smarter people are going to get into assets and other things of value and probably be able to purchase more and accrue more. So it's kind of like, I mean, I don't, the fact that Bitcoin is yes, held by, holders where it's concentrated in that sense, I don't think it makes it, I think it's natural, right? Like you're going to be early. You're going to
Yeah,
be
so as
some,
you get in the beginning, there's only so many people in here, so of course, and then especially because the block subsidy was so much higher in the beginning, those early adopters are just going to have that many
and
more
people
coins.
die.
Whoa,
People are
whoa,
going to
whoa, whoa,
die
whoa.
and
No,
sell their
no, no.
Bitcoin.
Mr.
That's going
Hoddle,
to
Mr.
happen.
Hoddle, excuse me. The block
Yeah.
subsidy was higher, but on a per dollar basis, it was way lower. If you got a 50,
Right, but the
if you
people,
got
no, but
no, no, no,
you
no,
missed the
no,
point.
no, no.
You missed the
I
point.
missed the point. No, you're not understanding how math works. Okay,
No, the UTXOs. Forget about what the
skip
prices were.
UTXOs, dude.
UT,
No, you're not
UT,
understanding. No, you're not understanding basic math. And this is the problem with someone like you with 75,000 followers. The
uh-huh.
let me explain. The dilution of Bitcoin was much greater in the beginning. Now you have less. Do you agree with that?
The dilution? What do you mean
Yeah.
dilution? There's an issuance rate that we knew
The
in the very
issuance.
beginning. There's no dilution.
So my question is, did we reach 50% of the Bitcoin being issued in the first 6 years?
Yes.
So the issuance rate was much higher and then it gets progressively lower, correct?
Correct.
Right. So the weird part about this is that while the price was lower, you had a greater issuance rate. This is basic
Correct.
math. Right.
So
So that is
so fewer people.
counterintuitive.
Right.
So,
So, but what I'm saying is that fewer people had most of the UTXOs because
and
there
that
weren't
is,
that many people
and that is
available.
the way it still is today. Do you want me to post this up?
Yeah, but why is that a bad thing?
No one's
Well, you
disagreeing.
just
We're
told
just
me it was
saying
a
we don't
bad thing
care.
because you just said that having 7 accounts centralizing and owning Bitcoin was bad. And you now
No,
just
no, I said
confirmed that it's the
7
same way.
entities. No, I said 7 entities owning all the UTXOs would be bad. I said that. That's what I said.
And I think he
Okay.
means,
Right
I
now,
think
we
I
don't
institutions.
think
have
you're
7
splitting
entities.
a hair here on this. I think that makes no
No,
difference.
no, it's completely. I'm not. I mean,
Explain
we
to me the
have
difference between the
thousands of addresses.
UTXOs, why the UTXOs and owning the Bitcoin is a difference. Let me hear a material
What?
reason why that's the case.
UTXOs are Bitcoin.
So you're just saying, oh, so you're using some bullshit trend thing here. You just validate what I said.
What?
Dude, you don't know what you're talking
Hold on,
about.
hold on, hold on, hold
The
on.
mentally
Do
unequipped
you
brain. How
understand?
many times do you want me to tell
Wait,
you?
wait, 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 wait. Hold on. What do you think
It's
of
like
Bitcoin?
pissing against the wind into your
Wait,
So
own
hold on, hold
mouth.
on.
why do you
What do
use
you?
the term UTXO if you just mean Bitcoin? You're trying to sound smarter?
Because no, because what do you think of? Wait, so you're under the impression that one Bitcoin? Oh, okay, hold on. One Bitcoin is 100 million sats, correct?
Yes, big deal. Yeah.
Okay. So not everyone is going to go and get one Bitcoin,
I
right?
don't
They're
care
going to be
about
getting.
let's just talk about the people that own Bitcoins. Let's leave
All
out the
right, say this.
smaller ones.
I have. Say, just give you an example. I have 100 Bitcoin. They're divided into a bunch of point fives in a bunch of addresses. That's not a full Bitcoin, but I have 100. I have 100 full Bitcoin total. But the way they are in addresses, there's point 0.5 each.
Right.
Do you understand? So those are UTXOs.
Dude,
Like those.
I want to be very clear. If I've got a pizza and I cut up into more slices, I still only have one pizza. Come
I,
on.
I get what you, like, just a second, but take a pause.
No,
Mr.
dude.
Huddle, what he's
Mr.
saying
Hoddle
is,
here
just a second.
is throwing some serious
No, wait,
bullshit
just a
out.
second. There's
No,
just a
no, but Grain,
miscommunication.
he's talking about how you arrive on your data using addresses. You have to factor in the UTXOs. It's not the
No,
pizza example is
There's
not
no way
good.
around
just
this. This
guys.
tells me you just don't understand anything about Bitcoin. Like
No,
taking
no,
anything
just a
we
second,
say
just a
about
second.
Bitcoin.
He
All
means,
right.
I think what he means is that even if you don't do any form of intelligent address or UTXO aggregation to try to infer that a single individual owns multiple UTXOs, what he's saying is that if even you just made the baseline assumption that every UTXO was individually owned by an individual, not multiple, its Gini coefficient, effectively, its concentration is very high relative to other assets. And that is true. It is true.
That's true. But what if there's 7 entities
But
now that gets to own all the Bitcoin?
well, okay, it's a separate question, right?
Well, that
It's
was what I
first of
said at the
all,
very beginning. That's how it all started.
just a second. I'm trying to get there, but like the Gini
All
coefficient
right.
thing,
Okay.
I don't actually think the concentration is a big deal. I don't think it's a problem. Moving on, whether I think in generalities, if 7 highly centralized entities that were subservient, especially to 1 or 2 government structures, owned all the Bitcoin and all they did was issue IOUs, yeah, I could see where that would be a bit of a problem. Like
I mean, that's
that
crazy.
would be a bit of a problem.
That would be instead. I mean, I don't think that's ever realistically that's ever going to happen. But if
I don't either.
that happened,
Hey, so here it is, guys. Here's the info. You don't need any advanced forms, and I'll tell you exactly what I did in 2017 because this changed my life.
tell
I
me, tell
happened
me.
to find this. Here it is. So it's in the
Yeah.
nest, and if you guys click on it, you'll see the image in there. So if you click on my post, and you don't need any analysis on this. Now, again, if you assume one person has one address, that's the maximum it could be, right? If one person owns multiple addresses, it's worse. So if you look above from 1 to 10, from 1 to 100,000, there's 4 addresses that control 100,000 to a million Bitcoin, right? And that's in there. And then if you look at the bottom to make it easier for people looking at this right now, it says addresses richer than. So if you look, there's only 125,000 addresses that are richer than $1 million. Now you're telling me that you have 100 Bitcoin divided up over 1,000 accounts or 100 accounts. big deal. What I'm telling you is when I decided in 2017, I found this and I put 1.7, I've said this publicly before. I decided to put $1.7 million into it because at that time, it was 20,000 addresses were more than $1 million. And I was like, if I can own 1/20,000th of the number of Bitcoin, then I thought that I would be good. That was the decision that I made. I didn't need any advanced analysis, long-term, short-term holders, distributions, UTXOs. It was really, really simple. So if I want to talk to somebody that's a millionaire, I would be like, great, you put $1 million into Bitcoin today. Assume there's no taxes. You're
What are we
one of
talking?
125,000 in the world. It's
But
that
what's the
simple.
point? I think his point is different, though. Yeah, that's great.
What's your point? What's his point, Mr. Hoddle?
First of all, good.
Point is seven entities holding Bitcoin is not a
It's
good thing.
already
That's
like
the point.
that. It's not going to change ever.
It's not exactly like.
It's
I mean,
not
it's
going
far
to
from that.
change.
It's not.
It's
Seven
not
But
entities.
thing
changing.
is,
It's
there's
not
always
seven
been this
It's
entities.
pleb
always been
dream,
like
right?
this.
Where all 21 million Bitcoin would be self-custodied by individuals and would be
No, the
transacted
No,
pleb
no,
idea
no,
peer-to-peer.
no.
around
Of
this is
course
that it would
not.
be
That's
evenly
impossible.
distributed.
No. That's
It
impossible
was
to
that it was
happen.
going to be evenly
That's
distributed.
impossible
It's
to happen.
bullshit.
The point is that seven. I'm not okay. 100 entities, 1,000 entities is one thing. Like spread around the world. 7 entities in 2
But
jurisdictions or 1 jurisdiction.
as the
No,
incentives
that's not a
play
good thing.
out, there's going to be entities that don't have their that don't have their Bitcoin with IBIT. Like, why are we like taking it as a given that everybody's going to use IBIT? Some people use
It's
IBIT,
not a. It's
but as
not a given.
different
Yeah, it's
banks
not.
and
It's not a
different
given.
organizations and institutions, self custody is like known,
Yeah.
like it's figured out. Like people will do their own thing. So like this kind of we're arguing over this absurd
I feel like
hypothetical
we're
where
arguing. This is a
every single
non-argument.
person that wants Bitcoin exposure is going to use IBIT or FBTC.
But
Those are just one option
why are we
available.
even
It
arguing?
tends
It
to
should be
be
so
one of the
easy just to
preferred.
say.
Yeah, it's one of the preferred, solutions for retail. But that's just not how it's going to
Most
go.
people should use an ETF.
Yeah, most retail individuals should use an ETF.
Most individuals should use an ETF.
Well, a lot of individuals can't use the ETF. I mean, in America, sure.
What?
There's
So
a lot of
what?
people
Who
here.
gives
Yeah.
a shit about these third world countries with no fucking money, bro?
Well, I mean, me. I
All
care.
right, well,
I
go
want
and
people
teach them
to.
how
I
to
want people
fucking
to
stock
benefit.
their $5 a month on fucking Bitcoin. Who cares? So Mr. Hoddle, what I would say to you is,
Me.
why Stop don't you
Me,
join
I
a
care.
fucking space? Why don't you join spaces? a space in Africa and explain to people in third world countries as Why opposed are to you in the
Well,
talking U.S.? about fucking Americans with
I
guilt
don't do
about
that.
their
There's
wealth?
other people. Other people do that now. I don't do that anymore. I stopped doing that. But there are other people
Yeah,
that
what are you
are
doing living
more
in
sterling than
America? Why don't
Africans.
you go to Africa and help the people?
No, I'm not interested. I personally
Oh,
don't
I thought
care
you
at this
cared.
point. At this point, no. I care that the individual could greatly benefit from Bitcoin. Sure, I think, especially in countries where their governments
Bro,
aren't as favorable as our
I
government.
think every fucking pet can benefit from Bitcoin. What value does that bring? Everyone's pet.
What do you mean? It brings
Everyone's
value to them.
pet
It
should be
brings
protecting
value
their.
to the individual.
Yeah, listen, bro.
British, it brings value to
Yeah,
the
well, go help
individual.
them
If you
then.
can
Give
have
them that
money,
value.
then
What are
you
we
don't have
doing?
to
Why are we
trust.
wasting our time? Let's talk about how millionaires are
We're
gonna
not wasting. I'm
use
not
and
wasting.
protect their value with Bitcoin. Let's talk about that. Who gives a shit about the $1,000 net worthers? It's over.
British, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, there's Lightning Network. We have plenty of solutions for people.
Lightning
I'm
Network is
not
for
saying people go.
transacting.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
talking
on, hold
about
on, hold on.
transacting.
This,
I'm talking
this
about
is. I
store of
think this is
value.
where the misconception is. I think this is where the misconception is. On-chain Bitcoin in the next, 50 years, 60 years, if it's being used by a regular pleb individual, then yeah, we got a problem. It shouldn't be. That should be used by high power
You will
money.
go fucking
But
use Lightning and promote that shit. We're talking about store of value over here. We're talking about real money.
are we?
Well, we
Is that what
were
we're
until
talking
you
about,
started. I don't know
Is
what
that what
track
this
we're going down right
is this
now.
space?
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about the
No, no,
tracks,
no, no.
Mr. Hoddle. He just wants to talk about the train cars. Stop
Hell
talking
yeah,
about
let's
tracks, man.
go. Stop talking about the
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
tracks.
I think there's a really big misconception. I think the whole high power money thing where institutions are going to be using Bitcoin 100%, no doubt about it. That's going to happen. If it's only 7 of them that does it,
You how
that's going
many
to be a
how many
problem. If there's
institutions would you be comfortable with?
a couple hundred, All
Thousands
right, we'll
maybe.
get to work on that. Can we move on? We'll make sure that a couple hundred institutions and zero Bitcoiners hold any
But that's
Bitcoin. All
for
right, you'll
on
be happy
chain.
then, right?
That's for on chain. That's for on
Yeah,
chain.
yeah,
That's for doing
100%. We'll
settlement
make
transactions.
sure that the
All right,
real people can only use Lightning and not actually use Bitcoin for their fucking store
British.
of value, and
What
it'll
were
be
you
great,
doing before?
right?
What were you doing before Bitcoin? What were you doing before Bitcoin?
I'm an investor.
Scamming
I
gold.
don't understand. Holy shit!
What were you? No, but what were you doing? You were an investor in what? What were you investing
I've
in?
been I've got experience in gold, real estate, equities.
When did you decide to stop shilling gold and real estate and start
Yeah,
shilling
here's what I did, which
IBIT?
none of you guys would do, by the way. So I had a gold education.
Um,
I've said this on video before, by the way. I had a gold education business. It was making
I'm
like
sorry. I don't. I had you blocked, and for some reason I don't know why I had you blocked. And then you've been on here, so I unblocked you. But now I'm starting to see why I had you blocked. But go
good,
ahead.
good, 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 good. Let me tell you what you wouldn't have done that I did, right? So I had a gold education
Tell me.
business that was making like 600,000 a year, something like that. March of 2020, I discovered Bitcoin. By November, I sold all of my gold, right? Put it into Bitcoin and told every client in the business that I had that I was shutting down the business and they should buy Bitcoin. And I gave up 600,000 a year of revenue, which none of you fuck faces would do.
No,
Oh, what you think
I
you're better
wouldn't
than
do
me?
that.
Yeah.
So you closed down gold and you said gold is bullshit. Time to
Yeah,
start
I
buying
said
Bitcoin.
get onto Bitcoin. I have sold all my
Oh, that's
gold
good.
and
I
moved
like
on to
it.
fucking
I mean,
Bitcoin.
better late.
I wish you did that earlier on, but whatever. Did that earlier on? What, 6 months after I discovered Bitcoin? That was too late for you? Fuck off.
Wait, hold on. The first time you heard of Bitcoin was in 2020? No
Yeah,
fucking
that's
way.
when I started. That's when it made sense to me.
No,
I
no,
got it
no.
in
I know that's when
2020.
you started. That's when you started. I'm saying, when was like that wasn't the first time you heard of Bitcoin though? No way.
Oh, I heard the fucking word name Bitcoin probably, I don't know, 2015, 2016. I thought it was a scam.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
heard about Bitcoin in high school when people were talking about buying shrooms from the Silk Road off it. What does it
I
matter?
heard
You don't
Max
have your.
Kaiser
What kind of high
screaming
school
on
did you go to?
television. I thought it was a fucking scam.
Oh,
Kaiser.
I
Yeah.
went to a high school in New York metro area.
What
Good
kind of high
school.
school
Bitcoiners are
did you get
fucking
to buying
mentally
shrooms off the
unequipped,
Silk
and you're
Road?
not financially in the place where you can hold. Like, the
Yeah,
fuck are
like it
you
doesn't
talking
matter. Like
about?
I was 15 years old when I first heard
I had
Bitcoin.
other
Buying
shit
shrooms
going
off
on. I
the
wasn't
Silk
like you
Road?
guys. I didn't have a fucking peasant job and then discovered Bitcoin and act like some kind of financial fucking genius. I had other shit going on.
See,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Hey,
have the
sue
complete.
me,
I had the complete
motherfucker. I
opposite.
apologize. I had
I
other
have the
business
complete
stuff.
opposite story of British. I had no money when I discovered Bitcoin, but fortunately, I didn't think it was a scam when I first heard of it,
Good. You're
so I
smarter than
jumped
me,
on
I
board.
guess. So now you're
Yeah.
a fucking genius, right?
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a
Hey,
genius.
at
I don't
least
think I'm a
Mr.
genius. I
Huddle
think I'm
knows what a
retarded.
UTXO
And
is.
well, no. That
No.
wasn't
Oh,
British.
I know.
That was someone.
I know who it was.
That was Grain who said
That
that.
that
He's
was
got me
me.
But I
Let me
blocked.
tell
mean,
you something. I,
yeah.
I just care about how much
I mean,
Bitcoin
listen.
I own.
I get. Listen, this shit is not for everyone. Like, it's not right. So, like, there is definitely a place for people to just shill IBIT. There's definitely a place for people to just shill BlackRock. As
What
long as
about
you're
just
shilling
shilling?
Bitcoin in some
Hey, hey,
form,
hey, listen.
I'm
What
great.
about just
Go
shilling
for it,
cold
man.
card like you fuckers did?
I mean, I didn't shill cold card.
Why
I
don't
didn't
you
shill
guys?
any
Why don't you
hardware
say
wallets. In
that? No, no,
fact,
you guys identify as a little fucking gang of self custody fucks, right? Why don't you talk about the fact that you shilled cold card?
no. I show self custody. I mean, because if you want to own Bitcoin, you have to self custody. There's really no way around it. Someone's going to self
The
custody.
Bitcoiners
I
are
don't care
fucking
who it does. I don't
losers.
care if it's
Mentally
Trump self
unequipped,
custodying or
fucking
Coinbase,
stupid
but somebody has to self
conversations.
custody.
Of course,
It's over.
nobody pushed Cold Card. It just became the choice among self
No,
custody
no, no.
maximalists.
They literally
Nobody pushed
pushed
it.
it.
I
No,
didn't
No,
say.
no.
nobody
They
did.
pushed
Nobody
it.
did
I
I
push
didn't
was
it.
say no
there
one pushed cold
listening to
card.
them push the
I said
fucking
I
thing.
didn't push. I said I didn't push cold cards.
I
I
don't
said
know
I
what the
didn't push
fuck you
any
did.
hardware
I don't
wallet
know
on
Apparently
anything
Bitcoin.
about
nobody
you.
did, because in the aftermath, apparently everybody's hands are clean of it. Nobody's
Exactly.
Plenty of
Yeah.
people that
recommending it.
Nobody
did.
fucking pushed it. Yeah. Absolutely.
No. I
Yeah.
mean, people got paid.
Bullshit.
People got paid to do it. What do you mean? Of course they did. People were fucking shilling it on podcasts left and right. I'm not saying nobody did.
And
I'm
now
saying
they're
I didn't. You just said
poof,
I was
vamoose,
shilling it.
vanish in thin air. Apparently, I mean, it's like we're 2 weeks
Now
out
it's
from
But
the
pushed to
I
attack.
will
fucking
tell you.
BitKey or whatever the fuck else you
I
guys
will
have
tell
moved
you.
on to.
I will tell you this. That I use a cold card, and everyone that used a cold card that I recommended to, they didn't lose a single set.
So you did recommend the cold card, yeah?
To my friends and family, but to
And
like
nobody got
on the
wiped
internet,
out.
no. Not one of them, because they all rolled
Well,
their
they
own
rolled the
entropy.
dice.
They
They
all
made
had
sure
scrum
they
path
rolled the
racers.
dice. They made sure they rolled the dice.
They're
That
friends with me. You
NVK,
don't think
that
British?
NVK,
You don't think
Mr.
my
NVK,
Hawk,
and them.
friends? You
British
don't
doesn't know what a
British.
passphrase is. Stop trying to confuse him with your technical
British.
jargon.
You don't think my friends
It's
and
fucking
family? You don't think
losers.
my friends and family? You don't think my friends and family would benefit from me? Like, you
Listen,
don't think
all
they
I'll
would
tell you
like?
this:
I
you
would let
weren't
them not roll their own
you
dice.
said you weren't on Clubhouse right
They're my
before.
friends and family,
That's
man.
great.
What's
Listen,
what's
here's what
that?
I'm
What'd you say?
telling you. Here's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
There
let
were
me hear it.
Clubhouse rooms where NVK and them
Right.
himself.
You said that. You said that they sucked NVK's
No,
dick, and
no,
I
but
agree
they
with you. There's
would
plenty of people.
NVK and them himself. They would say they wouldn't talk about the fucking rolling the dice and shit. Like this wasn't known
Right.
until
Yeah.
Until this thing
I
evaporated.
used to give
Hey, Mr. Ha, I got a
VK
question
shit
for you.
about that.
Mr. Ha, I got a
Yeah.
simple
Yeah.
question for you. If rolling the dice were so important, why weren't cold cards shipped with dice by default?
I don't care. No. They're important to me. I
No.
don't because
Answer
but
that.
like not.
If dice are the only way to have cold card work correctly, why weren't dice
No, it
shipped with
shouldn't.
cold card?
No. Cold card had a bug where
I know
the
all
random
about it.
number generator didn't work.
No, I got it with the random.
Right. So
Right.
like I don't. But if this isn't for me, it's not just cold card. For any wallet, I come with my own entropy. I don't trust the random number generator on
So
anything
what you
because I'm
think people are
a
going to do is they're going to roll their own dice,
No, I don't. No. Great. Again, I don't care what people do. No, I don't think anything. I don't care. My friends and family did it. I don't care what you do. You're a stranger on the internet, man. I don't give a shit what you do. I'm just telling you what I did and what my friends and family did. I know a lot of people here are trying to save, and like help people out that they don't know. And I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. I don't care. So like, if you want to trust the manufacturer of Ledger or Trezor, go for it, right? Or if you don't, roll your own entropy. I don't care. There's just an option there for people that don't. Like, I've never trusted any hardware wallet with this shit. Not because I didn't think there's going to be a bug there. Just I'm not smart enough to like verify anything, right? Like I don't know how. Well, now with Clankers you could, but before that, there's no way of doing that. So instead of me trusting these hardware wallets and software wallets, I just rolled my own entropy, and I felt safe doing that. I felt comfortable, and that's what I did with my friends and family. But I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not expecting anyone else to do that. I don't care what they do. I really don't.
Well, it seems like you cared that there were 7 entities that have centralized and controlled Bitcoin. You
Right.
do seem to care about
If
that.
no. Of course, because that would lower the value of my
How
Bitcoin,
does
and
that
I think
lower
that
the
would be
value
bad.
of your
I don't think that would be
Bitcoin
good.
by the biggest entities
Oh, I
buying
already
this
explained
up?
it. I explained it to you. If there are seven entities that are holding Bitcoin within one or two jurisdictions where the government could come in and just basically do whatever they want, I don't think that's going to be good for
Oh,
Bitcoin.
so
I
you
think that's
think the
bad. It's a
governments
bad
would
thing.
take the Bitcoin? You're using that for
No, I never said
you
anything
just
about
said
taking.
that.
No, great. I didn't say
You
anything about
just
taking the
said that the
Bitcoin.
governments
No,
are
I
going
said
to
they
take the
could do
Bitcoin
something.
away from
They
them.
could put limits. No, they could put
Limits
limits.
on
They could do
what?
all sorts of things. They could put liens on the amount of Bitcoin that you could exchange, on the amount of Bitcoin you could withdraw, on anything. What do you
How
mean?
can
They
the
could do
government
anything.
stop Bitcoin? That's the part I don't understand.
No, not Bitcoin. They could stop. They could stop the set. They could do like those seven entities are in
Mr.
Bitcoin.
Ha,
Those are
that's
people
so
with offices.
unrealistic. The government has never restricted anything that the
That's not.
citizens can do.
Hold on. Great. Well, you said how can the government stop Bitcoin? But you realize that's a very different question than saying how can government stop
I want you to
companies from
explain. So
doing
you
things?
think the governments are going to seize these U.S. entities that control Bitcoin, whether it's Coinbase or Strategy?
I
No,
didn't
be
say. I mean,
specific.
no, they. Well, hold on. Great, they could
They
seize
can't.
it. I'm
Oh,
not
you're
saying
going to
they
start
can't,
with
but
that
that's not the only
6102
thing.
FUD again because I ran a poll on that.
I didn't say anything about 6102 foot. I'm saying that there's governments out there in the world that will take your
Okay,
Bitcoin.
let's talk in
Yes.
America. I'm an American. I'm in America. I think this is
Well,
American
yeah,
space.
and
Are you
Great,
you're
but
worried about the
American
U.S.
from
seizing these
Bitcoin
Bitcoins?
is not American.
you're an American from
Bitcoin is not
Oh, you know
you're
American.
an
what, dude?
American from
You know
It's a
San
what? This is a
worldwide
Francisco.
thing.
circular argument again
No,
that
it's
poor
not
people in
Grain.
Great, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're missing the
You really
point.
think
I
Bitcoin
love
is an
this
American
space.
thing? Great, do you really believe Bitcoin is an American
no,
thing?
I
Like it's
don't
an
think of
American
Bitcoin.
invention that's
I
supposed
do
to stay
think
in
that Bitcoin
America?
is non-sovereign, but you keep on mixing these two back and forth. That's the whole thing.
I think you're confused on how
The
Bitcoin
more the
works,
I'm
man.
not
I think
Bitcoiners
that's what's
confused.
talk,
going
the
on.
more people are convinced by IBIT. It's great. Keep
British, you
talking.
got into Bitcoin fucking 4 years ago, man. Like,
Keep
stop.
talking. Keep
You still,
talking. You got
I
it.
get
No,
it.
no,
Go
you're
chill.
the best
I'm talking
marketing
to Grain
campaign
right
for
now.
IBIT
Right
there
now,
is.
me and Grain are having a conversation. Hold on, Grain. Do you understand that if there's seven entities that are controlling all the Bitcoin, how that is not a good thing. Can we, like, if not, let's go through
It's
that
already
whole scenario.
happened. I've already posted it.
But
It's
it's not, no,
already
7
happened.
entities.
It's
No, Grain,
done.
that's a lie. 7
It's
entities do not own Bitcoin. They do not own all the Bitcoin. I don't know what you're
And
talking
that's never
about.
going to happen. So why do we keep talking about it?
It's not, I mean, Grain, well, I don't know. Grain thinks that, like, if it does happen, it'll be fine. Go ahead, Dark. I'm done. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, look, I mean, let's just be honest, right? That Bitcoin is a threat to fiat currency, right? Bitcoin, in many ways, is a credit default swap on fiat currencies. So if you accept that premise, right, then you have to understand that governments will do whatever they need to do to save themselves. President AOC will do whatever needs to be done to attack Bitcoin. Don't kid yourself, right? If the government needs the Bitcoin, the government will either take the Bitcoin, more likely they will just tender for it, right? They will go to Strategy and say, we are buying Strategy, we are tendering for the company. They will go to IBIT. Now IBIT's a little bit different because it's a trust, so there'll be a little bit more of a legal fight there. But in the end, remember, you don't really own it, neither does BlackRock. The DTCC owns it. So
So
they have plenty of avenues by which the government, if they want to, and more importantly, if they need to, which is a more likely occurrence of events, they have all the avenues they need to get the Bitcoin. Now that doesn't mean they're going to steal it. They're just going to tender for it.
yeah, but absolutely. But I feel like in terms of like what action items an individual can take, every individual, right, that wants Bitcoin exposure has to calculate the percentage of the likelihood that their government, right, let's say the United States government, if you're an American, every individual has to calculate the likelihood that their government will take some sort of action to either freeze up Bitcoin held on exchanges or to basically seize the IBIT or the Bitcoin underlying a product like IBIT. Everybody needs to run that calculation, be like, okay, I think there's a 10% chance of this happening. So I'm going to have, whatever percentage of my Bitcoin exposure in spot Bitcoin on a hardware wallet that is, theoretically safe from the government's hands, right? That's it. Right. And then also there's a possibility that even if you do think that that could happen, there's a question of, okay, how much leeway or how much runway will I have? Right. Because with something like that, especially coming from a regime that's pretty property respecting like the United States, you'd probably be able to see the signs coming. So if you thought like, the tides are kind of changing, I have a whole bunch of Bitcoin exposure in IBIT or some on exchange or whatever, I should start migrating that to pure, self custody because I see the winds changing, right? It's not like that shit would
Well,
happen overnight.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I disagree with that last part. Crises don't happen on Tuesdays. They tend to happen on Friday after the market closes, and by
Yeah.
Monday morning, believe me, you're done. It's way too late. And by the way, this has happened in the last 6 years, right? Like, talk to the people who were trading GameStop. Talk to the people that were trading MMTLP. Talk to the people that were trading Avis Rent-A-Car, right? Like, they'll shut off the buy button.
The
They'll
buy
do
button
what it.
could get turned off for sure, but
Yeah,
that's
they
different
but
than that's
no,
different than your existing
no, but it's
holdings.
no because
hey, hey, Dark Side, you forgot
hold on,
nickel.
hold
You forgot
on.
nickel.
I did not interrupt you. You're wrong about that. It's
Some of you
not
guys
just the buy
deserve to be
button.
interrupted, though.
Jesus, it's not just the buy button that
You
gets
don't need
turned off. It's
Jesus. You
your,
need Larry
it's
Fink.
your, it's your.
I have
Wow,
someone who is asking to come up.
wow.
I'd step down.
Yeah,
Seems
just to be
steps.
clear, it's not just the buy button that will
Just
be
point
turned
of order,
off.
real
It
quick.
will be your ability to exit your Bitcoin. They will shut off withdrawals. They will just
No, they
shut them
won't.
off.
What
Oh
you guys
God,
don't
no, they
realize
won't.
is that Bitcoin is actually how the fiat dollar gets saved. So they're not going to shut it off. They're going to leave
The
it with
shut off.
you and they're going to sink fucking dollars into it so that they can print more dollars. That's how it's going to get saved. They're going to kill the velocity of the dollar so they can print more of it. It's literal. It's going to be the literal opposite of what you guys are fucking whinging about. The literal opposite. The
Remember, this is
dollar is
coming
going to
from a
get
guy.
strengthened.
This is coming from a
Go
guy
on,
who
start with the ad
escaped,
hominem
literally
attacks, so then
escaped.
you give me permission to do the
You
same. Go ahead.
escaped Britain. You escaped Britain. You went to Dubai because you didn't trust the taxing authority and the politicians in Britain, right? You literally
The fuck does
escaped.
that matter? I don't understand.
Well, because what you
Well, you
trying
should
to
escape
dictate
too.
that.
Come over, Habibi. Come to Dubai.
No, I really do like my freedom of speech, and I like to
Right.
carry
Okay.
firearms. So
Okay.
those are two things. I like to know that if I need to, I can defend myself, and if I want to, I can say
Mm-hmm.
whatever the hell I want. Those are two things you've given up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've
Mm-hmm.
sacrificed your sovereignty to
Mm-hmm.
be a
Mm-hmm.
subject of a monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
more
Mm-hmm.
power to you.
Mm-hmm. We know. We know. Just calm down and enjoy the NGU. It's gonna be fine. Mars, give him the we know. Go ahead.
We know. We fucking know.
When these idiots talk, you're just gonna be like, "We know, guys. It's okay. That's why we're all in Bitcoin. We know.
We know the feds are here. We
We
know they're
know they're
co-opting
here. We
Bitcoin.
know.
We
We
know
know the
Wall Street's
threats. Yeah, we
corrupt. We know the
know.
dollar's bad. We know
Why we're
printing's
here.
bad. We know the debt's bad. We know it all. We know. We know it
We
all. We
know.
know.
We know. We know.
That's why we're in Bitcoin.
But you don't know what a
Good
UTXO is?
God.
We know. We know. Relax. Relax. Nobody knows. We know. We
We
know.
know what a
Okay.
UTXO is. We know it's
You know the beauty
unspent
the
transaction
We
the
know,
output.
beauty of
Dark.
this
We know.
Boom,
We,
country,
Dark.
the
We
beauty
bitch.
know.
of
We know.
the beauty
Good
of
job,
this
Mars.
country is that you are free to be a retard. No one here is going to stop you from
Hey,
being a
we know.
retard. Now,
Everyone's
what we
retarded.
try
Yep.
to
Yep.
do, what we try
Unless
to
your
do is
cold
stop you
card is
from
shoved straight
spreading.
up your asshole, we are retarded. We know. We know. It's okay. Relax. It's okay. We know.
So, British, do you also know that if Bitcoin doesn't survive as a medium of exchange, it'll fail as a store of value?
It's complete
No,
and utter, respectfully, because you're very
I actually
sweet.
I don't know
That's
that. I don't.
respectfully, that's
Oh,
complete and utter
that's not from
horseshit.
me. That's from Jeff Booth. I
Yeah. Okay.
I
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I disagree with
Hold on.
Jeff
Let me
Booth.
just
I
say
love
something
Jeff
real quick.
Booth. I
Let me
disagree
hold
with
on.
him on that.
Let me just say something real quick. Yes, I know Jeff Booth believes that, but he's also a VC invested in L2 payment technologies. Now, one might say he's investing in those companies because he believes medium of exchange is fundamentally important, but it's also important to recognize that he is financially tied and incentivized to making Bitcoin a medium of exchange. So,
Also,
just take
did
it's a
did
somewhat it
gold
is a
lose?
valid point. It's a valid point, but
But
I
did
don't
gold
necessarily
lose its
believe in it.
monetary premium when it stopped being used as a
AKA
medium of
No,
Mars.
exchange?
We
no.
know. We know.
yes, it did. It was much more manipulated when it lost its medium
It
of
just went on a
exchange.
big epic run.
What are you talking about?
Dark thinks
See,
it's going to 15,000
nobody here,
an ounce.
nobody
Look, I think
here
the
can
gold.
actually
The
justify their fucking irrational, emotional thoughts with any fact. This is the Bitcoiners' reality in 2026. It's just LARP. It's just
look
like
the
fucking getting together, putting on a fake uniform, and reenacting. That's all it is.
Look, I want Bitcoin to be a medium of exchange, but do I think it's necessary for it to go to $1 million? No,
No,
I don't. I think it'll get to $1 million before it's a medium of exchange. Actually, I think that that's the path that we're most likely going to be on.
I feel like we're going through a monetary projection, right? Collectible novelty, store value, which is where we're at now,
Exactly.
then medium of exchange, then universal unit of account. I feel like people keep
Exactly.
on getting the order of that mixed up.
Talk
It's like
about a
we're in store
meme.
value. We're in
Jesus
step two.
Christ. Talk about a meme. That's a meme.
Is that a meme?
I know a meme when I hear one.
That's a meme right there.
Yeah, see, it's going to phase shift. First, it's going to be an ice cube, and then it's going to melt into liquid, and then it's going to turn into vapor. It's going to phase shift, man. It can only be one at a time. Don't you
No,
know?
no, no. There's going to be blurring of the
don't you
boundaries.
know?
There's going to
Pump
be
it up.
times where it's
Got
shared,
to
but it's
pump
just
it up.
like the general order is not changed by the fact that it's not, a
Okay,
black
all
or white
right, all
thing
right, all
between
right,
numbers.
all right, all right, all right. I heard fucking Mike Maloney's fucking history of money or whatever fucking YouTube shows
You're
back
a
in
gold bug.
fucking
I knew it.
2013. I heard all that fucking shit, and it's fucking fabulous for looking backwards in history and analyzing certain characteristics of money. It is absolutely useless when it comes to talking about Bitcoin, which has been a store of value, a medium of exchange, and a unit of account since inception.
Sure, but you're
It's just
talking
not
about what
widely
is
adopted. So
primary. But you're talking
talk about
about
what
what
you're
is
actually talking about.
primarily.
If you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
talking
but
but
we're
about
talk
talking
more
about
about
adoption,
what
how
that's
much
one
is
thing.
primarily
But
used as each thing.
at any time, including right now, there's
oh,
people
ATC,
using
we
it as
Yes,
know.
I
all
We
get
those
that.
know. We know
things.
I get that.
TC.
I
We
could
know.
buy something with
ATC, we
Bitcoin
know.
right now.
We
But
know.
yeah, we
I
know.
know,
It
but you
can do
still
all
want
three
you
things,
still want the
TC. We
discourse to be
know.
consisting of memes. That's all. You're
No, no,
just
we
speaking in
know.
memes.
It's okay. We know. We know. We're talking in memes. We know. Yeah, we know it can do all three things. We know, but it still needs to attract $100 trillion first.
It
Okay,
doesn't
we
need to
know.
nothing, dude. The honey badger
Oh, it
doesn't
doesn't
need
need
you,
$100
and it doesn't
trillion.
need anybody else.
Fucking
It's doing what it's
dumbasses.
doing. You can hitch a ride. Everyone's welcome to
It
join,
doesn't
but
need. So
it
you're
doesn't
telling
need
me it
you or
doesn't
anyone else to
need.
do anything
It doesn't
specifically.
need.
No,
It
it does
doesn't
not.
need to go to $100 trillion market cap.
It doesn't need to do a goddamn thing. It's going to
Idiot.
do what it's going to
Okay,
do.
British.
we
These
You
people
know.
can
don't want
We
to
opt
be
know.
in.
wealthy.
Okay.
That's it.
These people don't like wealth.
You can opt
They're
in
poverty
or you
minded. I
can
know.
opt
They just
out.
want to be poor.
That's all you can do. You can't make it do
Okay.
anything.
We know. We know.
Well, when a hamburger is 10 million
This was
bucks, I'm
a
not I'm
pleasure,
not sure the $100
guys.
trillion
Here,
number is going to matter
Let's
that
go.
much.
Let's go.
British. You said you
What's
care about the millionaires mainly, right?
hello?
Flo, you said the millionaires are mainly like the focus we should have as
No,
Bitcoiners,
no,
then.
that's been my focus, and I've been pretty honest about that since my very first video.
But your business was only making 600,000 a year.
That business, that product was the gold product that everyone goes on about.
Gotcha. Okay, I was a little bit confused because that seemed
Yeah, I know a lot
really
of people are
small.
confused about me. It's quite funny because literally
You
since the
know, it's
very
like
first video,
that's
like
not
I've
even
told
fucking
everyone
close to
exactly
being a
what I do.
millionaire. So I just
No,
find
I
that
was a millionaire.
kind of
Yeah, don't
fascinating.
worry. Don't worry. I'm glad you're counting my pockets. But let's. What are you? Are you a millionaire yet, or what?
Hey, hey,
We're
what happened,
pocket
Lauren?
watching here.
Pocket watching.
Sorry. I just woke up from my nap. What did I miss?
Oh, fucking nothing. You
British
actually
was
missed
making a new
absolutely
meme.
nothing.
We
Oh,
were about to
okay.
help Grain of Salt understand
We
what
were
a
just
UTXO was, but
reminding
he
all these
ran.
guys that
He
we know
ran.
British is
all of
flexing
their
on us
LARPing. We know all of it.
how he's so
It's
much
all
richer
good.
than we know. We know.
We know, boys.
That is the
Why
new
is
big
everyone so
meme.
Come
We
on,
know.
salty
Grandpa.
today?
Time to go to bed. We know.
I keep waiting for the title to change from Bitcoin Today to Bitcoin Today, the real world.
Let's go.
That's a new
See,
show.
Tiffany, you're
It's a
Now
new
we're
catching
show.
on.
talking.
This is what's so fun about this
Tiffany's a
place
big
is it is
Bitcoiner.
reality
The name will
TV.
change
Hit
to
the
Big
cameras,
Bitcoin today.
Terrence.
Tiffany
I
is a
think we're
big
on to
Bitcoiner.
we have a
Oh
winning
boy.
idea finally.
Where's No Takes Natalie?
She's selling peptides.
Is she actually?
She's getting the
That's
state from
Darkseid's business
addiction.
partner, no? Aren't they business partners? Hey guys, I just want to know if you want a fucking peptide that makes you terrified of literally everything, Darkseid and Puncher and Natalie got you covered.
Fuck are you talking about? I have nothing
I
to
don't
do with
actually know. To
peptides.
be honest, I don't actually know. I do not know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've
I
just been
mean,
hearing this.
I mean, it's like fucking incredible to
I've
listen to you,
just been
little.
hearing this
You're
peptide
like a
shit
little
recently.
Smurf. You're a little Smurf. Somebody
You're
should
you're
just
shorter than me. What are you
fucking.
talking about?
No, no, I'm not, bud. Go back to
Take,
the carriage
take
ride.
off
You
the
can
fucking take
go
off the
take a
fucking
look.
British is
heels.
short too.
British
Dude,
has been on
short
the
and
peptide so
poor.
long. He's about
Holy
170
shit!
pounds wet
Short
with a
and
hard
poor
on.
Man.
indeed.
Let's go. Doing great. This is bull market.
Be-
This is it right here. Now we got the good energy going.
Terrence, Lauren, I'm
Yeah.
surprised
You
you
gotta
haven't
get
changed the title to
TC. You gotta
iBit
get
today.
TC, Mr.
The
You
Hodl,
haven't changed it to
kayfabe
Tony.
is
Get
iBit
out
out.
of
today.
here.
Why does it still say Bitcoin today?
Bitcoin
I'm the
gets much better
co-host,
when
so if
TC gets the
Terrence wants
fuck
to
out of
change the
here.
title,
Love
See,
the kayfabe.
Dark's opinions are actually, they're useful, right? Because it's like, okay, yeah, well, you have to actually factor in a potential governmental risk. Like, and I've always said that as well. Like, assign a probability to that happening, put that amount in self custody, split the rest amongst IBIT and FBTC. That's been my like thinking. But like people like TC and Mr. Huddle and whatever, like Bitcoin gets stronger the faster they leave.
Not going anywhere.
Wait,
Oh yeah, you are. Trust
why
me,
does it get
baby.
stronger if they leave?
It gets way stronger if they leave. Trust me.
Right, but why? No, I'm not going to trust
They'll
you.
start getting
It,
afraid of
But
being
why?
too
for the
wealthy,
first
and then
time,
they'll sell it.
A Bitcoiner wants to verify something for the first time in Bitcoin. Wow, that's awesome. Great progress.
Okay, but how is it going to get better? I don't think you answered.
We know you don't know. It's fine. Don't worry. Big Bitcoin's got this covered. Just relax.
no, I think British has some really asinine takes personally, but he has some good takes. So that's the beauty
Agreed.
of. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Dom has a call. Dom, you got a call out there? Go ahead.
No, I thought we were just like soundboard sounding off. I just was
Yeah,
kind of
no, it was
exploring the
great. Great
space.
timing. I love it.
Dom, we're
Yeah.
crashing out here. You got anything for us?
Okay, listen up, Dunskies. I heard a guy say stretches up a smidge.
Just a
Come
smidge.
on. What's a smidge is not going to
Right?
get you groceries at Mondami's
Or Air One.
new socialist grocery store. Get your head out of your ass. You need to
Hey,
take
Mars,
an 80-year time
MSTR is
horizon.
$139 a share right now.
Yeah. Well, I feel
Big
pretty
Bitcoin
stupid
is
buying
winning.
calls. I feel pretty stupid buying calls when it was above
I think
400, but
one of the
you live and
big
you learn.
differences in here is some people
You live and you
measure.
learn.
Sorry, Princeton. I didn't mean to speak over you there.
Sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Crashing out about losing money.
There's a few people in here crashing out. Some people in here are measuring their value in Bitcoin and trying to retrain their brain to think in terms of that. Others seem to measure their time, effort, and energy in US dollars. And I think in the long term, that would be a failing solution. So I think guys like TC, they're trying to retrain their minds and go, hey, guess what? In 10 years plus, I want to make sure I measure all of this and train my mind and count all value in terms of Bitcoin. I think that's
Yeah,
one
I
of the
mean,
big
it's
differences I
ironic.
see.
British says that his
I actually
strategy
agree with a
is
lot of
to
what TC
calculate
says.
your percentage of risk of the government doing X, Y, or Z, or the economy collapsing, and put that much into self custody. But he fails to recognize some people might think that's a certainty, and if it's a
Yeah.
I'm
certainty,
not
that's
failing to
100%.
recognize that. You should do what you want to do.
Well,
I've
that's
said
Oh,
that
I
since the
do,
beginning.
I do.
that's the crazy part too. Is all the we know stuff is literally we agree on 99% of it,
Yes,
and there's
exactly.
not a lot of escape velocity here as far as outlets or avenues for us to actually escape this tidal wave of money, etc. So I think squabbling often doesn't really produce anything other than maybe a good show, entertainment value. But I don't think we're changing a
Well,
lot of
remember, it's
people's
Reality
minds.
Thursday, Lauren.
It's Reality Thursday. Who are
Yeah.
we voting off next? Tiffany, the hammer.
Well, it was Mars. It was
To
Mars's
you.
fault. Mars brought up the idea. So,
So you're saying Mars is
Let's
voted
go.
off next?
yeah.
You're getting voted
Boot
off
me.
the island, Princeton. Sorry
Boot me,
about that.
bitch. Boot me.
No, we probably are getting close to the time when maybe it would be a good day to go around the horn instead of just rugging this one. Just maybe we can.
This was a fun one, Lauren.
It was
Oh, this was
entertaining.
great. This was
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And
yeah,
keeping it fun
I
agreed.
like
think
this is how people
tomorrow
get
you should
educated,
get
too.
I've
Yeah, it's
given
fun
up
Mr.
getting kicked in
trying
the
to
Huddle.
make
nuts.
sense of what the
You,
Bitcoiners say, which makes it
next
space is
show
much more fun.
tomorrow, you should get Mr. Hoddle and Grain of Salt to do a coin control conversation. I
Oh, that
think
would be
that's what Grain of
awesome.
Salt
Yeah, that would
needs.
be super
Be
valuable. Grain
entertaining,
of salt's time.
and that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. I love it when
Dude, there were some huge breakthroughs in this space. Hodl is working on.
Emotional.
that
I don't know if he
entropy app.
mentioned this. No, he's working on a hardware device to store IBIT certificates.
Hell
Mm.
yeah. No, it's called a frame. We're gonna frame it around
The
the house.
future of Bitcoin.
Wow. All right, let's
It's a
do it then.
revolution, guys.
Let's go around and you guys just drop off the stage if you don't have any closing comments. And let's start with you,
Yeah, and be
Paula. We didn't
nice.
hear
Let's play
a ton
nice.
from you, but
It's
she
great
always
to have you
comes
up here,
up
Paula.
with the Jeff Booth heuristics.
She does.
I believe him. I think I
Why?
I
Why do you
bet.
believe him?
Don't follow your heroes off a cliff. But Jeff,
It,
I'm not saying he's
yeah,
going off a cliff.
Did
I
you
agree
know
with
that
you.
he was? Did you know that he was a VC in L2 businesses before Mars said it?
I know he is in some, but I
Be
think
honest now. Did you know that?
yes. Well, I do because of his ego death, but
His
I
what?
also know his ego death capital.
Okay.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that you should discount his
Princeton,
opinion just
easy,
because of that.
easy. Down, boy,
I'm just
down.
saying
Wait
it's
your turn.
important to remember whose opinions you take and where they're coming from. That's all.
Yes, it's
Hey,
true.
hey, Mark, like Bitcoin, the genesis story of anything matters. Always.
Let's go.
Was that your closing comment, Paula?
Yeah. Buy Bitcoin in self custody. Thanks, guys.
Why?
Thanks, Paula. To be fair with what Mars was saying, we are kind of stupid if we keep repeating the past. And one thing we've seen, even in the short history of Bitcoin, is the constant need to slay our heroes. Well, I could throw some names out there, but I won't. But that's a reason to always question, like Mars is saying. So I definitely
Who
sign
did
off
you
on
have
his.
as a hero in Bitcoin?
Oh, I used to love Breedlove. I actually did love Crater. I mean, I could go on, but yeah, these
Crowder's a
it
fucking
was
idiot.
that has been proven as of
Chuck
late.
Woolery.
I know. I've been right on all of these people.
Pop.
Oh yeah. No, there's a list, but I just thankfully didn't follow them off the cliff. And I think it's important. And that was one thing we stated for, the last decade was be ready to slay your heroes. So
Yep.
agreed on what you said,
Proud of you.
Mars.
Before your
Thank
heroes
you.
slay you.
Yes. Bingo.
All right, let's hit
Soundboard.
Jace next.
Let's hit him. Hit him real hard. Jace.
Hey, all I had to say was if you haven't done so, go listen to Mysteries of the Bitcoin Citadel and think about how you're going. If you do have your Bitcoin in self custody, think about how you're going to pass that on to your progeny. That's all I got. Have a great week.
And if you don't, it's okay. It's going to go to a good cause because it'll just boost all the rest of the people that are survivors that hold Bitcoin's bags.
I think that's
So
a
it's okay
fancy
either
word
way.
for children when he said progeny. Yeah,
Children's
Lauren
progeny.
just
Yeah,
DM'd me. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't need to look it up now.
How about Thomas? Is Thomas still here or did you fall asleep?
Tommy Muffin?
He's probably on another
No, I
space.
was
Oh, he's
I was
here.
listening. I was enjoying. I was doing work. I just have a growing sense that we're really on the cusp of a crazy bull run here.
Hell yeah, Thomas.
We know.
It's
We know.
and I think it's gonna, obviously Bitcoin's gonna be in the pack, but I think it's lots of things are gonna go up. Everybody do their own thing, but it really feels like I was mentioning at the beginning of this when you watch a sports game and you just sense the momentum changing. I feel like that we're heading into September. I just think the momentum's shifting, and smart. It's almost like you can feel the smart money moving into this asset class. They're moving, probably taking a step out of the AI sandbox and probably into, I'll call it the store of value complex, which includes Bitcoin, gold, and others. So get you some. You don't want to. I wouldn't want to be out of this market right now if you're thinking you're going to buy it at 55,000. There's a 2% chance you get that filled. There's a more likely you're going to be kicking yourself.
I don't know. Nobody knows anything. We don't have a crystal ball.
Thanks, Layla.
How about you, Dom?
Yeah, I got a bunch of things.
Listen up, Dunskies.
Oh, there goes Walken again.
Yeah,
We haven't heard from Walken in a while.
here are my final thoughts. No, Walken, he's put away for a second, but
Trump too? Oh
yeah,
man.
He
Trump
always
too.
tries to come in
Yeah.
and snatch
We don't
your
get any
microphone
Scooby
away.
snacks.
What
We
the
used to
hell?
get Scooby
Yeah.
snacks, Lauren.
I think we need to
Yeah,
kick him a few racks before he's willing
Okay.
to.
that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
right.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Just some last thoughts. I do believe in the slay your heroes, which is why I'm running around LA with spike strips trying to catch Terrence, on doing one of his videos. So, like, I subscribe fully to that.
You just need to get one
Um,
wheel. That's all. Just get one wheel.
yeah, loving the work that British is doing in the space. But also, I always say, like, BlackRock. You put music on me when I'm hitting
Sorry,
like
I thought you
that.
were gonna. I thought you alluded to a British sponsor, so I just wanted to give him a shout out. So my
He
bad.
left. He didn't like that.
He's collecting his spiff money. Come on. Sorry, Dom. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna. It's all right. It's British is gone. I find it interesting. Where is where's Greenpeace now that AI global warming is dropping glaciers like crazy? They're nowhere to be found. It was only Bitcoin was the only environmental problem, I
They already
guess.
spent
But
the 5
AI,
million from Chris Larson, so they need more.
dude, AI has done more in like 10 minutes than Bitcoin has done over like 10 centuries as far as energy use. But eventually Elon will accept Bitcoin for the Cybertruck. Until then,
You're gonna
he's
prefer the
confused.
Pinto?
You can't park
Yeah,
that
that's
anywhere,
it.
Dom.
And then
Nope.
next space, I'm curious. This is for a different, but I'm curious as to people's thoughts on why would a Bitcoiner want clarity to pass, if at all? Like, what's a Bitcoiner's view? I'm just curious to hear people's opinion. That's all.
That'll be a good topic for tomorrow.
Yeah. And I can preview that with just, I think most Bitcoiners, people who understand Bitcoin, know that we don't need the Clarity Act. It really just helps crypto. It doesn't help Bitcoin whatsoever. But the narrative changes for the broader traditional finance system. Some of the banks and some of the brokers, and people feel like they can take more risks. Some people are worried about custodying or allowing people to trade or interact with crypto, the general digital asset space, and they unfortunately put everything together. So I just think it's more of a it's just more of a narrative that they feel that they have clarity, even though it doesn't
We
affect
can clear
Bitcoin.
it up
We've
tomorrow.
already got it. The CFTC, the
No, let's open
SEC,
it up
they've already
now, boy.
clarified it for us.
Clear it up right frickin'
Yeah.
now. But we
I
did
did
have
hear
G
one
Money.
thing. Oh, sorry. Okay, you
No,
guys
no,
do.
G Money
No,
hopped
no.
up when he
Let
I
hit the
was.
Dom
Cybertruck.
finish
I
and
know
then G
that.
Money.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Dom.
I was only going to say on that. One take I heard that I hadn't thought of, or someone brought up, was just that. Every time there's a collapse of one of these crypto tokens or some project that doesn't work out, someone brought up the point that the clarity passing would create a bigger separation and kind of prevent sweeping knee jerk reactions to these collapses of exchanges and stuff, and potentially insulate Bitcoin slightly from that. That was an interesting take. That's all.
All right. Before G Money goes, the four drinking words for today are Trump,
Trump,
token,
Shade
strategy,
Away,
and taxes.
and taxes. What about
Shadalay, what a
pedophiles?
shit show that was. I walked into a little bit ago. Holy smokes, what the hell was that, boys and
Just
girls?
having a little fun on a Thursday
I
afternoon.
just caught Terrence saying the Clarity Act wouldn't help Bitcoin, which is absolutely not true. The Clarity Act, the Genius Act will all inject crypto rails into the entire financial system. And when you realize that the Trojan horse there is Bitcoin, right? We're going to cast the widest net. Big Daddy Trump and Big Daddy Percent are going to lay pipe, like our
Shot.
boy British says. And the pipe's being laid in the financial system. And so the crypto rails, the stable coins are going to hyper dollarize the world. That's going to then hyper Bitcoinize the world. That's then going to hyper Americanize the world. But British is wrong in the fact that the 6102 attack will happen at some point in our future. I'm not saying it's going to happen under Trump, but it will happen. And if your Bitcoin is left on the exchange, they will happily give you fiat, cash you out, and take your Bitcoin. So don't trust anybody. Safe, self custody your Bitcoin.
I
It's
thought he
my.
hopped up here to talk about parking the Cybertruck. What the hell?
I'm in my Cybertruck
Yeah, you
right
can't
now,
park
actually,
that
and it's a
thing.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I don't drive
But you
anymore. Only driving is for poor people at this point. Okay, don't be
but you
poor.
proved my point with what you said, because I did say the clarity does not do anything, absolutely zero technically, for Bitcoin. It's the influence in the traditional markets, as you said, with crypto and stable coins. So it's more of a narrative that helps Bitcoin. There's nothing in the Clarity Act that helps Bitcoin anywhere.
Who's next? Terrence.
Let's see.
Oh, to Dom.
We did
Did you want
Dom.
to
You
chime
were
in again?
sleeping. We did Dom. We
Okay.
did Paula. We did Jace. We did Tommy. We did G Money.
Wow. It's like an orgy in here.
We've got House and then Sharon, and then I think we're out.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I mean, it's August, the weekend of the year. Work is a bit slow for me, so I've been participating on this more than usual. But in terms of what I do, it doesn't change. I use my spare dollars, I convert them either into spot Bitcoin or IBIT, and I just keep doing that over time. All the discussion is fun, it's funny, it's entertaining. But in terms of the day to day action items, hasn't changed for 3 years. But also, people don't be afraid of getting wealthy. Like, be open to wealth. It's kind of part of the whole thing.
No, well, it's bad. That's bad House. Evil.
Bat House.
Sharon, you're up, and I think we're out then. I see Mickle requesting Lauren, but tell Mickle to come up tomorrow.
Wait, Terrence, can I introduce myself at the end, right after Sharon?
Yes, please. Sharon. And then
Oh, I
Zeus.
just wanted to, first of all, hey, G Money, haven't seen you in a while. I just wanted to just point out, and I agree with the position on Clarity Act, and we have to be very careful for how it tamps down the differentiation of Bitcoin and the things that Bitcoin can significantly change going forward in self-sovereignty.
Let's be clear. Zeus, go ahead.
Hey, first off, thank you guys for having me up here. It's my first time doing Bitcoin Today. I mainly run SetDev, which is a Bitcoin engineering security firm. I've also started BitcoinYield.com, which does institutional research on yield products. And we recently launched a multi-sig super wallet called CoFund. But I honestly just wanted to come up because I was hearing British talk a lot about how we should only care about millionaires and like against self-custody, and like I definitely just got my cortisol spiked and wanted to join this chat as well. And again, to talk about the balance between self-custody versus Sucoin adoption, all these different directions that we have factions running in. And again, I'm definitely more in like the cypherpunk faction, but I still love like communicating with all the other groups in the space that are growing. So just happy to officially be on this space for the first time. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, sometimes it's like we are the big brother of Bitcoin in that you want different personalities and different perspectives, and you don't have to agree with them. But if you're willing to step in the arena and make your opinion, it's like people can agree with it or disagree, and people learn from it. So anyone out there sitting in the peanut gallery, it's like come in and join us.
Yeah.
You don't have to just throw peanuts.
We don't, Terrence and I and Tiffany don't sign off on everybody's opinion that comes up on stage. And we're not necessarily, we get a lot of hate mail saying like, oh, well, you're supporting their, we actually like people to come up and try as best they can to logically give their position and let other people figure out for themselves if they want to accept it or not. We don't try to get this echo chamber thing going and, screen out. We're not, Mikkel's not coming up right now just because we're trying to close the show.
No, but
so
have
come
him
back
come up tomorrow.
Yeah, please come
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
So we're not like leaving him off intentionally. We're just trying to shut her down. But hopefully that lets people use their brains, and then when you use your brain, you're also likely to have real conviction that
Are
withstands
you looking in the
storms.
mirror right
So
now, Lauren?
I am. I'm big enough. I'm smart enough.
That's
I'm
what I thought.
strong enough. Yeah. And by golly, let's close this show down. Tiffany, did you want to say anything?
You was kind. You was smart. You was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I know that. That's how old you are? Oh my gosh.
Everything. Money, big moves, big boardrooms, big suits, big Bitcoin, big pools, big logos, big suits, big Bitcoin, big pools, big logo, Bitcoin, big pools, big Bitcoin, big pools.
That's G Money's
Bitcoin,
favorite.
big pools.
I'm just playing it for you, buddy. I know your favorite part of the song.
It's the big Bitcoin song. Yeah.
Lawrence still needs to play my game to Trump song, Lauren. What the heck?
I'm already drunk though. If we played that song, we would be absolutely annihilated.
Bitcoin today. It's Bitcoin. Turn up though. Get that education going. This is Bitcoin now. When big stuff came from the basement, now we in towers. Used to pass GitHub, now it's private apples. Look at the lobby, marble everywhere. Somebody told me freedom started there. I don't know, I'm just impressed. Big gold watch on the table. Go.